What's up, guys? It's Alex Ray, and you're listening to the Moto X Pod Show.
Hi, this is Colt Fasciotti. You're listening to Moto X Pod Show.
Welcome to the Moto X Pod Show, starring Darkside, his co-host Scotty, sometimes TJ.
What's going on, everybody? We're back. Crazy week last week. Show, man, I hope that show even made sense because I know everything was recorded out of order, but we're back. Episode 230 this week. Title sponsor. Thankfully, they're still on board. They haven't left us yet. Cherubies USA. For decades, Cherubies USA has been the leader in moto plastic and accessories of products that fit perfect, look great, and last. Cherubies has what you need. They're proud sponsors of Factory KTM, Factory Kawasaki, and many more. Whether it's full plastic kits, individual pieces, handguards, shin guards, and sliders, or anything else they offer, visit CherubysUSA.com. And support our title sponsor. Follow them on Instagram, and always let them know you're listening. Of course, our co-title sponsor, Racetech Privateer Spotlight. I think we got one of those coming up tonight, possibly. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves, and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Racetech also offers state-of-the-art precision engine services and parts to all engine builders. Visit racetech.com for more info and use promo code MOTOXPOD to save when you're getting your oil changed, getting revalved. MOTOXPOD to save. Fly Racing on board. X-brand goggles, Works Connection. You guys need a whole shot device? Elite clutch perch? Any of that good stuff they sell? Moto X-Pod 20 to save on checkout. Also, Torque One Racing on board. We just got done recording a new Torque One commercial. It's not finished yet, but Scotty knocked it out of the park. R Jerky on board. R Jerky. If you guys need some snacks for the next race, hit up eatrjerky.com. Use promo code MotoXPod21. I've got to send some of that stuff out this week to a couple people. Bermlord's Graphics and Jersey ID. If you want your graphics done for your bike, you want to freshen it up, you want to redo the lettering or new lettering on some jerseys, graphics at bermlords.com. Shock Socks also on board. Williams Motor Works for all your engine power packages, cams, porting, transmission, ECU. Williams Motor Works can hook you up. Extreme Colors. You want a custom painted helmet. There's a couple in the studio right there at the end of the table. Those are from Extreme Colors. Kirk kicks butt out there, $395 for a custom painted helmet. If you hit me up or let him know that you're a listener, $50 discount. Can't beat that. Scotty, we gave you some blood lubricants recently. The new Barracuda line is out. Multiple weights, better protection, better performance, and it lasts longer. Bloodlubricants.com. Use promo code MOTOX and get you some Barracuda. Power Band Racing for the WP suspension guys and True Fusion Sports. And a new sponsor on board. I failed to mention them last week with the storm and all the stuff going on. Grill Your Ass Off is on board with the Moto X Pod Show. You guys cook and grill and all that good stuff. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Use promo code MotoXPod to save. We have some sample packs right here. We're going to do a couple trivia questions. One for YouTube. We're going to do here in a minute. And we're going to do one a little bit later for the audio guys listening. So, what's up, Scotty?
What's going on, Darkside? How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm sorry. I'm looking at text from work, making sure we don't have a problem. But, yeah, it's going good, man. A lot to talk about, really, because we didn't get to do our intro last week.
Nope.
Because the power went out.
Yep.
As soon as we got done recording with, actually, I talked to Daniel Blair. After our show, I recorded with Daniel Blair for the wrap-up.
You're like, I got to go. Power's about to go out, and not but 30 seconds later,
it was
power
out,
went out.
And trees were falling. It was nuts. But, hey, this week, episode 230, Enzo Lopes coming on. I think it's his first time on the show, if I'm not mistaken. I have interviewed him at races, but not on the show. Benny Bloss made his return a couple weeks ago. He's going to come on tonight. And Charles Castloo, who a lot of listeners know was with 100% Goggles for years. He recently switched over to, he's working for Stacyc. He's moving back to Texas. So we're going to get Charles Castloo on. We're going to talk to him. Real quick, the giveaway. Okay, Grill Your Ass Off sample pack on YouTube. You guys are on YouTube right now. You have a trivia question, Scotty.
Yes.
Ask your trivia question. First person gets it right gets this sample pack.
Gets it right
Once
through.
if you find a winner, make sure they email me their address and everything. But go ahead.
Can we wait to do this, because I feel like all of our normal YouTube guys aren't quite all on here yet.
Sure. Yep.
So let's do that maybe like in between a couple of guests, because I don't feel like we have our full YouTube
Let's do the one
group.
for the people that maybe don't listen on YouTube or watch on YouTube and they're listening later. I'm going to ask I got a trivia question for a Grill Your Ass Off sampler pack, 7 flavors, including gunpowder steak and brisket seasoning, Willie Pete chicken seasoning. You've heard Steve and Kiefer talk about that. The Ma Deuce steak seasoning, Claymore Cajun seasoning, Pop Smoke taco and fajita seasoning, Infidel pork, crispy mango habanero. Anyway.
Okay, so which one of those have you tried?
Almost all of them. My cabinet is full of the big jars of them.
Okay, so
I use them all. I'm
a Uncle Chris's gourmet steak seasoning guy.
Okay.
Get it at the store. Where have you ever had that before? Nope. It's like the spices that has a little Spanish lady on them.
Sure.
They have.
Not really.
Okay. Well, anyways,
I only know Grill Your Ass Off.
You are a man of the brand.
Sponsors,
yes, absolutely. Well, okay, I'm trying to find something close to that, because that's my favorite.
I have no idea what it tastes like, but
well, that was a failed conversation, but we can move along.
I will give you one of these packs if you want.
That works.
Since you are part of the show.
I appreciate that.
I think we've decided you're part of the show. But yeah, we're gonna do this.
So I'm only on like my 62nd episode.
Right. Here's the trivia question. Send your answers to motoxpodshow@gmail.com, and I will pick a winner before the next race or next show. But the trivia question is, where does Kyle Chisholm? Oh, you know what? You have to send them before Saturday, so they have to be sent in by Friday night. This Friday night. Where does Kyle Chisholm finish in Foxborough? So
wait, which is he doing 250s or 450s?
Yeah, this is the East race, so he'll be on 250. He'll be with Star. So where does he finish in Foxborough?
That's a good one.
And
closest?
If we got to get it right. If nobody gets it right, we'll move it on to the next week or something.
So you won't even go to closest after that?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. Got to get it right. Got to hit it dead on. So I need them by Friday, or Friday night. I don't even want to take it. If they're Saturday morning, it's too late, and we'll send these things out. So if you guys want some, Grill Your Ass Off. The Mannequin Head also. We did the Name the Mannequin Head contest. We have.
That's right.
Yeah, we have a bunch of entries.
It's hard to point the right way. There it is. Right.
For those of you that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Jilly, who cut my hair, sent a mannequin head in the mail, not packaged up. It's just a mannequin head with like written tattoos on it. Very creepy. And we need to name it. So it's on YouTube right now. Excuse me. Scotty, so we got a few entries.
It's got some pretty sick ink too. I mean,
I don't know how many we have on YouTube right now.
Look at that lightning eye tat. That thing's fierce.
How many people do we have on YouTube right now? Is it just dead?
We got 2.
Wow, what is the deal?
I don't know. I don't know.
Screw it then. We're not even doing this. Nobody. If they ain't watching, fuck.
Well, I don't know if this is right, because more than 2 people have commented.
Yeah.
But this says 2 watching right now.
All right. Well, we'll save that then. That irritates me. A little frustrated with that.
Well, we didn't do one last week, so maybe they're.
I don't know. There was a storm. Okay. Grill Your Ass Off. We did that. So last week, something we did not get a chance to talk about at St. Louis. Chad Reed came out on the 04 YZ 250 for a hot lap.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Not my favorite rider in the world.
Dude,
still pretty damn cool.
That one take he had through the whoops was like, you could tell like Tomac was kind of riding behind him, and then like you just hearing that 2-stroke hit whoops like that. It's been a long time since I heard something like that, and like you could tell Tomac was like giving it a little sauce through there, because he got a little kick at the end, and Chad Reed was just like dot 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 straight as an arrow, and I was like, that old flywheel on that old YZ250 that thing was solid. So I thought that was cool. I thought it was a good way to celebrate like that, because he had a lot of success at that stadium. So, and I didn't realize this at the time. I don't think Yamaha really had much to do with that. He built that bike on his own. He I heard that he built it off of like spare parts.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool to see a little nostalgia. A lot of people thought that was pretty cool. So I thought that was interesting. St. Louis was pretty devastating with crashes. I mean, look, we've had Enzo, who we're going to have on tonight, with a pretty big crash. Josh Varese went over the bars. Jet Lawrence last week, he kind of put a block pass on Chiz, which Jet and I are going to have a talk the next time I see him about that. It's a little unnecessary. That's Chiz. You need to respect your elders, Jet, because now I'm mad, and we're gonna have a talk. Dean Wilson's crash was not cool. That
dude,
you heard him on Pulp last
10
night.
10 inches deep. Yeah. Holy crap!
Yeah,
my leg's not even 10 inches. Like that's like all the way inside of him, bro.
10-inch laceration. Yeah, man, poor Dino. So, and then of course Amar got ejected over the bars. KP went down with broken vertebrae.
Yeah. Dino and KP were chilling with each other in the hospital.
Man, we're crazy. But then so we can't really get into a whole lot of that just because of time. But like, did anything stand out with St. Louis last week for you?
Man, honestly, all I've been thinking about was Atlanta.
Okay, well, let's just move on to Atlanta.
Well, I mean, we don't have to.
Let's move on to Atlanta, the Speedway race.
Okay, let's do. I can transition from St. Louis to Atlanta.
Can you now?
Yes. Okay. This is we've seen this a couple times this season. Seeing Mooskin, he won the overall of the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Won a race.
Okay.
Did some things that would made us notice, and then this weekend at Atlanta, once again was in like, what did he ended up like 10th, 9th, I think, maybe something like that.
Wasn't great.
Like I guess he's just one of those one-hit wonders now. He's just getting to that point where maybe 1 week everything in that specific track works.
A lot of those guys outside the top 3 or 4 are just mixing. Like they're 1 week they're in 4th or 3rd, and the next one they're in 6th. I mean, it's just they're all kind of.
Yeah, but Mooskin has kind of done that. I mean, like, how do you go from winning to?
Well, he only won one race.
Yeah, but I mean, he was the most consistent guy that week.
That weekend, yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe he's good at Triple Crowns.
That was my transition
numbers, he's good at Triple Crowns.
Yeah. No, there you go.
Yeah. So we'll just give him the Triple Crown bonus. Like he's just better there. But Atlanta. So looking at the track map, I was like, this track's a joke. This is going to be the worst race I've ever seen. It's going to totally blow. It looked awful, and it actually turned out to be pretty decent racing.
I like the big red clay jumps. I like there was a couple of things that I thought were kind of weird. I think the weather they've had to have changed. Maybe some of it didn't turn out quite like they had anticipated because of the weather, I think. But for the most part, I think the layout's cool. Probably could have done a couple of things here and there that a little different. I thought like that little double thing after the finish line into the corner was kind of awkward. They looked really weird in the air. And then I didn't like that there wasn't like a final obstacle to like maybe get an edge on right before the finish line. Like there was no final finish line corner or really anything that they could really set.
That little chicane.
Yeah, they could really set up a finish line pass, which we didn't really get close to any of that even happening anyways.
Right.
But I thought it was cool. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if you told me that Hunter was going to win the 250 shootout, but I also wouldn't have bet on it either. So
no. But
I thought it was cool. It was entertaining.
Yeah, Jason wins another one. That's great to see. I'd love to see if we, ifs and buts kind of thing. But if you could just go back and a couple of those little crashes, a couple of the bike issues, and see like the points lead will be so much smaller. If not for a couple little things.
Dude, I was thinking about that today. Not only because you can tell that maybe there's a conversation in the start tent with Christian and with Eli, like, hey, you get into second or third, let's just win the title. You don't have to, they kind of both showed that they kind of both stayed about a couple seconds behind first place and just kind of center in. So a couple of things happened with Anderson. Hunter doesn't have that crash at Anaheim 3, and then does these 2 wins. There's like I think they're either almost tied or like maybe like 2-point difference. It
wouldn't be much.
Yeah, so 1 or 2 things, and we really have crazy title fights in both of those classes.
Yeah, it's always that way though, right? Just if this didn't happen or if that didn't happen, but it's you kind of look at it and go, man, it could be so much.
I know.
All these championships are about to be wrapped up, and it's kind of like, You know,
Yeah.
we're going to Salt Lake City, and like all the championships might be wrapped up the week before.
And then if I didn't need any more motivation to start having my sights set on outdoors, I'm hearing rumors that Hurlings is going to race.
And that I don't think they're rumors. I think it's happening.
Well,
Sounds like it's
whatever.
happening.
If it's official, when it becomes official, I am like, I'm already looking at that.
Yeah, I've heard it. It is happening. Like, it's not.
It makes sense. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean,
Right.
why would you not put yourself in an opportunity to do a full season where you can?
Yeah, absolutely. What'd you think of the day race, though? That was a big topic, too, last night on Pulp. And it's like, it's something Kiefer and I were actually talking just a little while ago. And I'm going to tell the story tomorrow night on the wrap up, probably. But
I didn't. Fans, a Moto Limited show said that Marvin had a pretty big crash first lap. I didn't realize that. So that explains
that's right.
my Marvin theory.
Yeah, that is right.
Thanks, either Nick or Trent.
It's probably Trent. Nick doesn't know shit.
Well, and also I've still had problems.
I almost guarantee that's Nick.
I've still had problems with. I haven't get to watch Usually I watch the races 2 or 3 times over before we come to the show, so I catch everything.
Yeah.
But I'm still having issues with Peacock won't cast for me right, so I'm not getting to. I don't know. It's driving me nuts. I almost
You
throw
always
my
have problems.
they find me, man. I don't look for them. I promise.
Man, I forgot what I was getting ready to say now.
Yeah, I interrupted. I
Yeah,
apologize.
you just screwed me up.
Yeah,
Way to go. Oh,
ruining
night
the
shows.
show.
Night shows and day races. For the day race versus night show. I'm not a big fan of the day race for the same reason they were talking about, or like JT was saying last night, is the vibe and the show, the quotas.
Yeah.
In I remember the story. I actually thought about it today, and I texted everybody in a group text that was on Pulp last night. I was like, look, man, I remember before, this is probably 8 years ago, before I was media, and just a fan, and my ex-wife and I went to Houston to go to the race, and she was taking forever to get ready. We're like hotel right across the street, could walk to the stadium, and I was like, come on, just like I was anytime we went to do anything. And she just was not in a big hurry. She had to get, hot. And then they're like, well, we got to grab some food. And I missed almost all of opening ceremonies, and I was furious. Big fight. Ruined my night because at that time, like, I got to see 1, maybe 2 races a year, and opening ceremonies, the lasers, the explosions, all that stuff, that was important to me. Like, I want to see the videos. That is part of the experience. And Steve and Kiefer and those guys are a little bit jaded by that because they do go every week for the most part.
Yep.
And I've realized, like, this year, there's a couple of races. I don't think at Glendale I watch open ceremonies at all. I just was like, doing
No,
other
we were
stuff.
trying to get as much. You were trying to get as much interviews as could.
Yeah, I was like, whatever, man. I've seen it, or it's not the same. But people that maybe they live in Foxborough, and this is the only race they're going to, and maybe they didn't get to go to a race last year. The whole experience is very, very important to those people.
Yeah.
So the day races, to me, do take away a little bit. Like, Kiefer's like talking about the jet flyover. That's pretty cool. But I think the lasers, the monitor with the intro videos, the music, the explosions and the flamethrowers, if the monster girls have them, if you miss out on that during the day, that kind of sucks.
I just don't. The whole thing in a nutshell doesn't make sense to me because the whole point of those races is a fan experience. Come in, buy a Monster Energy, you get into the pits.
I won, man. I found a can beside the road.
Well, okay. Well, anyways, procure a Monster Energy can.
Sure.
Come to the
parking lot.
pits. That's where those people can reach fan experience, marketing. That's the whole point. Why would you purposely shorten that time frame? Because even if you do open the gates at 9, there's going to be your diehards that are going to be there, but you're going to lose a lot of people that normally you might find in the pits at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Now you lose those people. So from that aspect alone, I don't quite understand why they would rush everything. Like, it's a night thing. Day racing is outdoors. Like,
I would assume the trade-off of being on national TV, because that one was on NBC.
Yeah, they played on actual NBC.
Yeah, so they're hoping that
which, if they really, and I've talked about this before, if they really wanted to get that coverage of showing it on the national TV, just re-air it on the next Sunday. Let us watch it like we normally do, and then re-air that on Sunday.
I'm sure there's some algorithm type
as
thing.
I'll quote one of our fans, NBC sucks. So
I do not think they'll be on NBC next year. The contract's up. Nothing's been done yet.
To me, as a fan that has watched almost every Supercross for I can't even remember how long, that 14 to like 17, 18 era where they were on FS1 and FS2, I felt like that was like they killed it. Like FS the Fox Sports Network, like they made it more appeasing to everybody. I think NBC focuses on the younger family crowd, which I get their reasons for doing that, but I feel like that Fox Sports era killed it.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, for what I remember. I don't know what they're going to do, man. Like, I'm worried. Like, Kristen Beat actually called me the other day and was talking about some TV stuff, just shooting the crap. And, like, my fear is, like, Outdoors is back on OLN, Outdoor Life Network. That's not a very big network. Do they have an app? Are we going to have to, like, how am I going to watch it? I don't have OLN because I don't have cable.
Yeah.
Do I have to pay for that? Maybe I do. And, like, I'm a little bit concerned about the availability of it. Is it going to be, like, is there an app?
I didn't even know if there still was an OLN network.
That's where it's going. So are there replays? Are we gonna go back to having commercials? You know, that kind of worries me a little bit.
There's got to be some kind of program that they're going to do. Like,
I hope so, but we don't know. The OLN, is that really that big of a network where they're going to have all that?
Well, they're probably tied to somebody.
Maybe. I don't know. But it worries me. I don't want Supercross on OLN.
Supercross won't be on OLN.
Hopefully not. But where's it going to go? We don't know, right? It could go to something like that, though.
Yeah.
If Fox or NBC or CBS doesn't offer them what they're looking for. I don't know what they're looking for. I think Feld wants to use their damn people, including Daniel Blair, and not be told you have to use this person and this person.
Yeah.
And that's part of the contract, is those people, Lee Diffie and I'm blanking on the other guy from this last weekend. The other announcer that was on this weekend, not Lee. It wasn't Lee this weekend. It was
Lee was there.
the weekend before. The other
Todd.
Todd, yeah. Those guys, like, they have a certain number of races. They are contractually obligated Feld to use them. So I don't think Feld's going to go with somebody like that. Feld wants to use, from what I understand, their people, which is Ricky and Daniel and Kristen, Will. So I don't know. I hope it. I feel like maybe announcer-wise, maybe we'll get Daniel more, right?
Yeah.
With whatever they do. I'm hoping that we'll get Daniel more with whatever they do. But then at the same time, is the TV package going to be as good as the options we have with Peacock, where you can watch some of the old races? You have Race Day Live. Like, who knows what's going to happen? I'm sure they'll figure it out, but it's got me nervous.
Yeah,
we only got a few minutes before we got to get Enzo on. Anything else you want to talk about before?
Moto Limited Show had asked, what's the story with Voland Darkside? The way I read that was that maybe you have some inside information.
No, I thought about calling Talon and I didn't. If I was to guess, Moto Limited Network in Australia, Nick and Trent. If I was to guess, he recently went to Alden's. He's too young for that crap, man. He's too young for that. Like, that program really wears guys down over a period of time, and he's young. He's not.
How old is he? 19? 18, 19?
Oh, I think he's like 17.
No, he's older than Jet.
Okay. I thought
he's 18, almost 19.
Maybe 18.
Okay. How old was Carmichael when he started that with Alden? 20?
Yeah. I think that program, he doesn't need to be there. That's my opinion. I think it's changing, like, how he does things. He's probably the strictness, the diet, the cycling, it's a little different than what he's used to, and I don't think that's been beneficial to him.
He fell back out so fast that I didn't even know he was back.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even hear the story that he was racing again. I didn't even know that.
Well, he hasn't made he hasn't qualified in the two races he's been back, and that's got me a little bummed out, man. I don't think him being at Alden's is doing him any favors right now.
That whole story is kind of interesting to me, because I remember when he was getting to that age, that 16, 17-year-old age, when we talked to Talon about this, like, they were playing the slow game, that they were going to do all this, and then seemed like overnight, all of a sudden, the opportunity came where he was in there, and they completely went against, like, their original plan. And
I think it was going to do this, you're going to lose this opportunity, the ride at KTM.
Well, then shame on KTM for doing that, because it clearly has affected him. They the plan they did not get to execute their plan like they'd been working for
Right.
years.
No.
And I think he needed those couple of years of more development.
Yeah, I mean, he still has one more year, but I think there's been, since his injury coming back, he's not the same guy right now. Now, maybe he has some lingering stuff, but I think the move to Alden's, I just don't feel like it's been good for him. I think it took him out of his element working with Talon and, his guys that he works with normally. But yeah,
I hope for the best though. I like that family. I
do too.
like his attitude, and we've had him on the show a couple of times, and he's a solid kid, and hopefully he can work it out. He's not he's not done yet. I mean, he has plenty of time, but this outdoor season he needs to have some good rides.
But we're about to take our first commercial break, and my guess is a lot of the people skip over the commercials. We're working on new commercials. This first commercial break is going to be a normal one. We haven't replaced everything yet. But the second commercial break, 3 new commercials. My stepdaughters and one of their friends came over and helped out. I did one of them. They're kind of fun, I think. So at least give them a listen. Let me know what you think. The girls had a blast recording these commercials. Like, they want to do podcasts and stuff now. They just thought it was super cool. So do me a favor, and like I said, after Enzo, we'll play that group of commercials. They're all new. I want to know what you guys think. I don't really listen to all the commercials on Pulp either. As a matter of fact, though, in that group, I don't have my notes. Somewhere there's a new Race Tech commercial, and I think it may be in that group. Is that right? We were listening to him earlier, Scotty. I'm almost sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be in that group. And funny story. We got 3 minutes. So I did this new commercial for us for Race Tech.
Right.
I sent it to Checkers, and Checkers was like, "Send that to Steve. I'll make him play it." And I was like, "Okay." So at the end, it's like, "Hey, visit racetech.com and use promo code MotoXPod." And I said, "All right, well, I'll change it to use Steve's code." And Checker's like, "No, leave yours.
Yeah.
Let's see if he catches it." So we sent it over, and he did. He emailed Checkers back yesterday and was like, "Hey, the wrong code's in there." I was so hoping during Pulp last night he would play our commercial with the Moto X Pod.
He's not going to miss a dime that's going out the door, bro.
I guess not. But he caught
Look,
it.
he can't. Look at his house, man. He's got to get it where he can.
But I think he is going to use the main part of the commercial, and I just tonight re-recorded the ending with his promo code, his discount code. But anyway, that's pretty funny. Anyway, check him out for me, man. We'll be right back with Enzo Lopes. Man, you two better get busy.
It's getting better. Brody Richards said Supercross needs its own private network, even if we have to pay big money for it, and that these guys be the rock stars that they are. Let them curse, let them speak their mind, and make it sick again. He said Supercross Network SXN would be so cool. It wouldn't be like its own network. It would be like a streaming thing where, and I've actually brought this up on this show before. They're trying to lump 2 completely different things into one program. They want to bring in the younger, new, inexperienced crowd, and I've mentioned this several times, and that's the focus of the major network because that's the general mass of people that's going to watch it. That's their major demographic. So they have to have something that does that. I think that for that group, we need to go back to a delayed broadcast on like a Sunday afternoon where you get it on your major networks. Saturday night, have the people that are going to pay the $10 a month or maybe the $50 for the whole season or whatever. People will pay that. I will pay that. You will pay that. People that I know that have Supercross parties, people that like to watch the Supercross race at the track while they're waiting for the next Sunday race, will pay that. Your diehard fans, your core group will pay that $50, $60, $80, $100 to do that.
Yeah.
And if you do that, that gives you the ability to put DB in there, put your Ricky, guys that we can actually like really break down individual parts and facets of the race and be a little more I guess lack of a better word because I'm thinking this all on the top of my head, PG-13-ish, to where we can have a little more color and a little more realism to it.
Yeah.
And that way you have that, and that's its own thing. You've paid. You've gone through all of the disclaimer. This may not be for your 4-year-old to watch or whatever. Like this is designed for the race fan. that program would work and then have the replays on Sunday. I think that's would fix all of this. Will that ever happen? Probably not. But to you guys is having the Supercross its own network, that would be the way to do it.
Well, obviously, yeah, I feel the same way like NFL and stuff. Like that'd be cool. Feld should have an app.
They do
has,
that. The NFL does that. They have you can watch Monday Night Football on ESPN. You can watch it on the ESPN network.
NFL should have an app that you pay for, like Netflix, and you could buy the entire season, every game, or you could buy the 49er package. No, they don't. I cannot watch the 49ers
yes, you can.
Every game unless I get DirecTV.
Yes.
Nobody fucking has DirecTV anymore.
You don't have to be DirecTV. You can get it with NFL with cable. You can get the
NFL network?
You can get the
NFL ticket.
There's I had cable it watched all the games.
I don't think so. The NFL ticket is contracted to DirecTV.
There's one there's one that you can get on.
They have like the NFL Pass where you can see highlights that are going on. I don't know. I'll look into it. There should be an app, Supercross, we got off topic, but like there should be an NFL app where I want to pay for the NFL, for the 49er channel, and I get every single 49er game.
Well, they would have to let each team create their own app. Which they will all have the money to do. Why would it
not just be on the NFL app and you go, all right, I'm paying for the 49er package, or I'm paying for everything, and I can watch this game live, or I can watch it a little bit later. I can watch it tomorrow.
I mean, there's
no way I can't watch my 49ers here.
I think there's online stuff that you can do, but maybe not. I might be mistaken.
I don't know. I'm 99.9% sure that you cannot do that. Because they still have that contract.
The Sunday ticket.
They have the Sunday ticket contract with DirecTV. They have those rights.
That's crazy.
Why would they do that? Nobody has satellite anymore. It's dead almost.
Yeah.
Like, stop. And same thing with Supercross. Feld should have an app where all the races that were on NBC, all the races that were on FX1 are in an archive somewhere. All the races for the last, if you could, all time, have those races.
Yeah.
But then also the Supercross
because you can't go, like, you can go back and watch old, like, early, like, maybe up to like 2010 you can watch just about every old race on YouTube, but once you get to that point, after this you can't do it anymore.
It's hard.
And now that I've mentioned that I'm getting back into the outdoor fever, I want to go back to my Peacock app that I pay, that I now all of a sudden I used to not have to watch ads, and now I have to watch ads.
I don't watch it. Okay.
You get the premium.
Yeah, there are the Supercross commercials are in there instead of nothing on Supercross.
Well, then I would just fast forward that, but it won't let you fast forward through commercials.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of a pain. But anyways, so
we got to get Enzo. All right, our first guest of the night is brought to you by our title sponsor, Cherubies USA, and also by Works Connection. Since 1989, Eric Phipps' goal has been to produce Works-like products for the general public. With products like the industry standard Pro Launch Start Device, the Elite Clutch Perch, radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, and much more, it's hard to imagine you not going to WorksConnection.com so you too can have what the pros use. Use promo code MOTOXPOD20 to save. Tonight, Cherubies and Works Connections bring us from Muck-Off, FXR, ClubMX, Yamaha, Enzo Lopes. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I don't think, I've talked to you at the races, but I don't think I've ever had you on the show, which kind of is stupid on my part.
No, it's my first time. I actually don't do much of them, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know if you realize, like, we've talked a few times, but I got to spend some time with you in the truck at Dallas with Weege and Steve, and just the whole team was in there because it was cold as crap outside. And dude, I was like cracking up at you. Like, you're a funny guy.
Well, I've been around Phil, so I try my best.
Right. I was not going to bring up Phil because every time Mathis talks to you, he brings up Phil. So I was going to try to save you that conversation.
No, it's hard because now I'm living with the guy. So I mean, you talk about Phil, you talk about Enzo, you talk about Enzo, you talk about Phil. It's funny because like I'm staying at his place right now, so we live together. And then at the track, we're always together. Like, even when he crashed, I almost crashed with him because I hit his bike.
Yeah.
So I'm like, even like the other races, I'm like, dude, you fucking kidding me? We're literally always together. Like, give me a break or something.
That'll drive you crazy being around him that much.
Yeah, no.
Well, that was
Yeah,
actually
so
one.
all the jokes I know I've learned from him.
I love it.
Well, that was actually one of my questions because I was at the Dallas Supercross. I was underneath y'all's tent, and Phil was there, and like there was a kid, like a teenage kid, sitting out of the fans, and he was not wearing a jacket, and it was like 40-something degrees in Dallas. Phil like gave him his jacket.
Oh, you didn't tell me this. That's cool.
Yeah, and then like Phil's personal jacket gave it to him, and then you hear him like on Pulp, and he's like, "We don't have 9 lives. We're not cats." And so like, my question to you was like, what's the Phil sitting on the couch with the AC going like 64 degrees because you don't want to turn the heat on or whatever? Like, what's that Phil? Like, what's a good story of that Phil?
No, it's funny because like. Yeah, he wants to keep the lights off the whole day, even at night, and then I'll turn it on. He'll stress about it. And then, yeah, like everything. Electricity, it's a big problem. Like, if I hit the drawer too hard, he'll yell at me. He's looking for stuff, to kind of like, to bother about it. But, no, like right now, obviously, he's got a broken arm, so he's miserable times 2. So we'll see how that goes.
The thing about him for me, like I've got to visit with him a few times, and I think I think some of it is just to mess with people, like to mess with you or to mess with Steve. But like he's really a nice guy. He is always super friendly. He's not like a butthole. He's not grouchy. He's just I don't know. He's got that black cloud over his head. And he just kind of plays it up. He's a character.
Yeah, no, he's like one of the nicest guys I've met. He's just, he likes to, I guess, like pick on people. If that's how you say, yeah.
Let's talk about you, man. How was the decision, a few years ago to come over from Brazil? Was that something that or come up from Brazil? Was that something that you had always wanted to do and you just kind of made it work, or did the opportunity come up and you were like, let's try it?
Well, to be honest, like, I grew up racing in Brazil, and then, like, I was, like, 8 times, like, national champion, like, 55, 65. And then, actually, the first time I raced here was 2009. I raced at Lake Elsinore, so I came with my family to watch the U.S. Open at the time.
Yeah.
And then on the way there, we saw the track at Lake Elsinore on the highway, and then we stopped by, and they had this race. And then we actually met this family there, and they said, "Oh, Enzo, you can borrow this kid's bike." But I didn't have any gear, and so we went to Langston store, which was on right by the track, So I bought all the gear, and then we went to watch U.S. Open that day. Came back the next day, so I raced there on Sunday, I think it was. So that was my first race in America, and then I did quite well. So then my family really stepped up, and then from 2010 on, when my story kind of started here in America.
Yeah.
Obviously, the beginning was pretty tough. We didn't really know like the big races and stuff. But I just gotta give it up to my family, And like money-wise, was really tough on us too, because like right now $1 is like 5 from our money.
Oh wow,
so So my parents really spent a lot of money. But from 2011, I got second at Loretta's at 65. And then I went to Europe to race the World Juniors, and then I got second as well. So then I went to be a part of the Orange Brigade team, and then I was the youngest Red Bull athlete ever. So that was pretty cool too. So then things just started to kind of like roll in a good way, But for me, like it was always a dream, It's funny because I grew up watching like Chad Reed, Carmichael, and like I kind of know all the guys now,
Yeah.
I rode with Chad at JGR, someone I grew up looking at the guy on TV, so that was pretty badass, to be where I am now. I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful for everything.
That's awesome. I want to touch on your family bringing you up here, but before I do that, you just mentioned Chad Reed and being a fan of his. When you're growing up, how cool was it to see him last weekend on that 2-stroke during the hot lap?
Oh, that was fucking badass. The sound of the bike, him hitting the whoops, dude. That was all time.
Yeah, that was cool. I wish I'd been there for that. That's some nostalgia right there.
I didn't really like his over jump on the tunnel. But
right? Yeah, over the tunnel?
Yeah, I bet he got scared on that one.
Yeah, for sure. His butt puckered a little bit. He's like, ooh, too old for this. But as far as your family, man, that's so impressive, because I'm thinking like when I was that age, there's no way my parents are going to take me to another country And like you got to, there's probably a little bit of a language barrier. There's like figuring out the maps, figuring out where you're going to stay. Like that's a lot of logistic stuff. That says a lot about your parents and their want to see their son succeed. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, like the first when we got here in 2010, I think we got here like in Miami. Like we didn't know anything. It was like a mess, and like we barely spoke any English. And like my sister did a little bit, so she could help us. And then that's even funny because like 2011, when I used to get podiums at Loretta's and at the races, I didn't know how to speak proper English. So my sister would come up with me and she would help me, So kind of like a translator. But we got here and then my dad bought this old RV. We would put the bikes inside the RV on the bed. And that's how it was in the beginning. But it's just my dad really wanted as much as I wanted, So he made it work, and I'm just thankful for that.
Man, that's beautiful. I love it. I love that story.
Yeah, I mean, home is. I miss home a lot,
I bet.
My family's still there. My sister lives here now to study, but my parents still there. But home is always good to me. I love Brazil.
I bet. Yeah, I remember Steve talking to you a few weeks ago about like the fans that came up, and like all they're cheering for you, and then that Brazilian fans, like soccer, moto, it doesn't matter. They are so passionate.
Oh yeah, they're wild, man. Like
it's cool.
This year, the Daytona race is usually where they go the most because it's in Florida. So I call like home race away from home, So this year they had like almost 200 Brazilian people there to cheer me, which was pretty badass.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, that was kind of my next question was what's the Enzo Lopes fan club like back in Brazil? And then also kind of elaborate a little bit of the pride you feel for being the only representative of Brazil in this American Supercross series. What's it like carrying that pride of your country as well?
Dude, it's like a dream, I still can't believe I'm on this spot right now. I'm just grateful to be the chosen one, I guess.
Yeah, I like it.
But like I said, the fans are wild, man. In Brazil, like if anyone posts like a picture of me, like in other pages and websites, Brazilian fans will comment like the Brazilian flags, and you'll get over like 500 comments. It's crazy, man. They love it, And for me, growing up, I've always looked up to, I don't know if you guys know the F1 driver, Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
He used to be, So I've always looked up to him, and I wanted to be kind of like him, but in my sport, to be a role model for the future generation and kind of show that, like, it doesn't matter if we're from Brazil, we can do it, So to be here right now to step in these shoes, is that how you say?
Yes.
It's pretty badass, and I feel like I'm just, it's just the beginning. I feel like I can do a lot more. It's just take my time.
Well, yeah, speaking on that, like it's your best season so far in Supercross was 2020 with a 5th. You're in 6th overall right now. I haven't looked at the points to see how far out you are from 5th, but how do you feel about your season as a whole? You've had some really good races. Obviously, the crash at St. Louis sucked. That going over the bars, that didn't help you much. And then you got 12th at St. Louis. You got a 15th this weekend. But, I mean, really some really good top 10 finishes up until the last two. How do you feel about the season?
No, season has been great.
Yeah.
Like you said, despite my trip to Indonesia there in St. Louis. But, no, it's been good. We've had, like, a few bike issues, especially, like, in Daytona. I'm kind of, like, frustrated because I was in a podium spot. Like, I was feeling really good. I think, like, the fans kind of made me, reach the next level a little bit there. So I was in 3rd for 10 minutes. Then my clutch was just really bad. The bike was smoking. And I still finished 5th, which was my best result so far. But, like, I had the podium that night, So I'm kind of frustrated a little bit about that. But I know my chance would come again.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
The last two races were tough for me. St. Louis, obviously, I crashed the first main of the Triple Crown, and then I got 6th. And then the last one, I was in 2nd, then I crashed. And then me and Jet, we came from behind, and I was in 7th already. And then I fell again. So then that messed up a little bit. And then it's been a great season, but at the same time a bit frustrating because I've been having like this ongoing issue for a while that a lot of people don't even know. It's the first time I'm actually talking about it. Like I have like a compressed vein in my shoulder because I've had shoulder surgery before. So my arm will get super swollen. Like every time I go to the track, it's kind of like an arm pump, but in like my wrist area, you know. But I don't really talk about it because I don't want to have this as an excuse. I still try to do my job as best as I can. But it's been bothering me a lot, you know. But yeah, overall, it's been a great season. I mean, I'm just a bit frustrated because I feel like it could have been a little bit better, but yeah, it's part of it. Like Phil says, it's the name of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as you take those things, like you sound like you saying that you're frustrated, tells me that okay, you're going to take those things and you're going to use them as motivation. And you've had those moments where you should have done a little bit better. So like you can't be too negative, right? You got to be like, all right, the positives are I've seen that I can do it. I know I can do it. Just got to fix these couple little things, and we're going to be there.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I've showed like I've had the speed, and it's not like once or twice. No, I've shown plenty of times. Like even Daytona in qualifying, I was like 5/10 out jet. I was like second or third in qualifying. Like even like the Triple Crowns, I'm always on the at least top 5. You know, so like I have the speed. It's just putting it all together, and like with this ongoing issue, it's been bothering me. So it is what it is. I'm 6th in points, but I'm right there still in the fight. You know, with 4th, 5th, and then McAdoo out. We're still in a fight. So 2 more, we'll fight to the end.
Absolutely, I like it. I like it a lot, Enzo. I liked watching you ride, you know, but I didn't really get a chance to kind of get to know you until I was in that truck in Dallas, and like, man, I was like, okay, I'm really a fan of this guy. Like, well, I had you when you were on Pulp the last time. That night, like that interview really made me like go, okay, I like this guy. So I'm a fan of yours, man. And I want to see you get better and better and start doing better. I love your personality.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I don't really have many opportunities, you know, to do like these things and really show who I am.
Yeah.
Most of the things I do is mostly like in Brazil because it's where people know me. So for me to do this right now and talk to you guys, it's pretty cool, and to share a little bit of my story and also a little bit of what's going on with me at the track. Because sometimes people will see me at the track, it's like, oh, Andrew's fucking tired or whatever. It's not like, you know, I train my ass off, and when you have like Supercross, it's like next level, you know. So when you have like the smallest thing, it can bother you, you know. So
yeah, you're right. And people, like, we talk about this all the time with riders and stuff. Like, there's those keyboard warriors out there, the people that, like you kind of just said, the fans that are like, oh, what's wrong with this guy? Oh, he sucks, or he doesn't deserve his ride. And they have no idea what you're doing, what you're going through, and not even just with training and riding, but like, I mean, every human being has personal things going on. You could have something going on at home in Brazil, family members that is bothering you. Who knows, right? And it's really unfair that the fans of this sport expect you guys to be perfect all the time.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, you know. Like, for me, like, dude, like, I've been home for like 10 days the past 6 months, you know, or more. So it's tough.
Absolutely. Sorry, Scotty. I interrupted you a little bit ago. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So you mentioned your shoulder injury. Is that something that you're like planning is there a surgery to fix that? Are you just trying to nurse it to this Supercross and maybe the outdoor season to get to that point where you can have the surgery, or what's the prognosis on the shoulder?
So like I've been having these issues for a year, but it was a tough goal to find like the, how do you say, diagnosis of what it actually was.
Yep.
Because at first, like, people were telling me, oh, you have arm pump and this and that, but like before my shoulder surgery, I've never had any issue with arm pump whatsoever. So then I finally found out like I have this compressed vein in my shoulder. So right now I'm still like studying with the team what the best option is, because it really sucks, you know, racing when you know you have something, not just to have a problem itself, but like mentally it's frustrating, you know, knowing you don't know if your arm is going to work or not, you know. But we're still studying with the team the best option, because I obviously want to do outdoors and I want to do good as well, because I feel like outdoors it's good for me too. So we'll see what's going to happen. But I also want to be healthy, you know, to do well.
Yeah. You don't want to keep trying to ride injured, because Those kind of things that just get worse over time if you don't get it taken care of.
Yeah, and like for me, the thing is like I look back and the only race my arm actually worked was Daytona, which was I was gonna get a podium, you know. So I'm like, dude, if I can be healthy and have no issues, like I'm fucking good, you know.
Absolutely.
And actually, all the other races I've had issues, but people don't know, you know.
Wow,
that's funny.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah, so Enzo, I was to get ready for the show. I was kind of scrolling through your Instagram, and I noticed you've kind of been on some pretty cool different teams through your career so far. And I just kind of wanted to know: is the club racing bikes / program the best you've had, or how do you feel about that program?
Yeah, it's been. I think just the way the Yamaha suits my style. I would say like the bike is. I feel like it's a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, and I'm a taller guy. And we got the bike like dial for myself, but I've been everywhere a little bit. I went from amateur privateer KTM to JGR, then I went to Paris for Cali, then I went to club in 2020, then I went to Phoenix Honda, and now back to club. But I love the bike we have. I like the program we have here too, like training wise with all the boys. It's been good. I feel really, really good. On the bike, off the bike, everything. Just not living with Phil, obviously.
Yeah, that team has really come along, man. Brandon and Mike, who we've had on the show a few times, like they're trying to elevate the team with equipment, riders. Then Mike trying to do like social media stuff and sponsors on the business side. It's really impressive. What is the vibe like at the team right now? Because honestly, I feel like Amart got to be a little disappointed with how his 450 career has gone so far. And then, of course, Phil's hurt. I know Marchbanks wanted more out of his season. And, you know, it's just the guys, like all the guys have more talent than what we've seen in the results. Are the vibes, are the emotions still positive, or are people getting a little bit down?
No, we're still positive. And another cool thing is that when I was at club in 2020, it used to be just a really small privateer team, you know. Yeah. And then when I came back, it's just this big team with how many riders we got now? 5, 6?
Jeez, it feels like 6. I mean, like, there's a couple that I think I didn't even name, right? There's
Jace and Nick too.
Yeah,
but then,
30,
like we got new sponsors. We got a new truck. You know, they're building a new shop at club. It's just it grew a lot since when I left. You know, but to come back and to be a part of this bigger privateer team, it's awesome. But the vibes are still high. You know, we're still in it. Obviously, it's unfortunate what happened to Phil last weekend. And obviously, Amar has been crashing more than he wanted to.
Dude, both you guys last weekend were very lucky.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that Brandon was telling us that he gets frustrated because he sees us riding during the week, and sometimes we're not the same on the weekend, so he gets frustrated because he just wants us to do good,
Mm-hmm.
But we're working on it. We've been working as a team, training together. So, yeah, we still have 3 more rounds and then outdoors. So should be fun and a fun summer too.
Absolutely.
All right, so Enzo, I got a couple of our live listener questions for you. First, Brody Richard would like to know what kind of nerves do you feel on the gate, like right before the gate drops, and then maybe kind of like if you do have nerves, kind of how do you deal with that, or just kind of talk about that feeling right before the gate drops.
I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Try being old and.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like everyone gets nervous. I just try not to think too much. But like when you have a full stadium and you got like the fireworks going off, it's hard not to, to get nervous. But I just try to take some deep breath and not think about it. And I was gonna say that I always try to look on the, like I'm getting the whole shot, but my starts sucked lately. So, but no, I feel like everyone gets nervous. There's just it's part of the game, I guess.
Yeah. That's part of the excitement, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like skydiving or anything, like the part of the nerves is part of the excitement of why we do it, because those butterflies, no different than like when you fall in love, man. Those butterflies, those nerves that's life, man.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't get the nerves, like there's no reason why you should do it, you know? Because then what's the point, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but yeah, literally sometimes I would think like, what the fuck am I doing here, dude? And then the board goes sideways, gate drops. And, hammer down.
This is why I do it.
60,000 people, flashing cameras, gay fires going. Like,
and until you go over the bars and end up in tough blocks, and you're like, son of a, this is why I don't want to do it. Yeah. Oh man, you got anything else?
Yeah, so we had another listener question that they wanted to know what's the most interesting thing that you've experienced being in America?
Good question.
That was our buddy Jake Curry.
Weirdest thing.
Or most interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
What's
weird? What's weird about America to you? Like, is there something really weird that you go, what is wrong with these people?
Anything where you go, what the fuck am I doing here?
Why am I not back in Brazil?
Dude, actually, no. I mean, I love America. There's other than putting the toilet paper on the toilet that we don't do in Brazil.
What do you mean on the toilet? What do you mean?
They don't flush their toilet paper.
Oh, yeah, we don't flush our toilet paper in Brazil. Yeah, we're third world country.
That's okay.
But interesting, man. I don't know. I mean, this place runs really well. I love it. It's a tough question, actually.
Okay, you have a girlfriend, right?
Yes.
All right, I don't want to get you in trouble, but Brazilian women, man, whoo-wee.
Yeah, that's why I date one.
Yeah, how do they compare to American women? Like Brazilian women are fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's just different. Like Brazil, they got this big booty and stuff, and
J-Lo.
I mean,
they're all waxed.
Yeah. For me, it's just normal. You know, I grew up around that, so I mean, like people here will look to that and be like, "Oh, dude, look at that." For me, it's just normal. You know,
normal.
You see that every day.
Sure. I need to pay.
Grass is always greener on the other side.
Trip though, Scotty. We need a vacation to Brazil.
Yeah, you guys are invited to stay at my place.
Oh, all right. Well, we're locking that one in. All right. I got one more question for you. This last weekend in Atlanta, obviously the Speedway race during the day. There's been topics or discussions on Pulp last night, a lot of other just message boards about the Speedway style tracks and also a day race. Do you like or dislike or indifferent to, the Atlanta style track on a Speedway or even a day race?
Well, I do like the day race. But it's the only thing is like we need to wake up really, really early. You know?
Right. Like
that.
Wait till Denver. Are you racing Denver? Is that Easter?
No, but yeah, Denver they have Friday practice. I've heard, but even like
track walk's like at 5 a.m.
No, but even this weekend in Foxborough, I think the track walk would be at 5 because they said first practice at they said first practice at 7. But I mean, I do like it, but that's the thing. Like we have to wake up at like 4:30, like 4 in the morning, you know.
Yeah.
And then even like I think it was Minnesota, we had the day race too. By the time we got back to the Airbnb, it was late.
Yeah, it was still late. Yeah, it didn't feel like it was any different, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so we're like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I mean, I do like it, but there's that part at the end of the day, it doesn't change that much, you know?
Right.
But about the Speedway races, I mean, Daytona has always been good to me, so I like that. And also Atlanta, I really liked it. Obviously, this year didn't go as planned, but I mean, I do like it. Lap times are longer.
Yep.
And it's pretty badass. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I was telling Scotty at the beginning of the show that, like, when I saw the track map for Atlanta, I was like, oh, this is going to be so bad. But it actually raced pretty damn good once they took out the death-defying super jump.
Oh, yeah, no, that was fucking scary.
Yeah. Oh, Scotty's got one more for you. We'll let you go, Enzo.
A fan made me think of this, and I'm pretty much just asking this because it always irritates Darkside. But
God, you can ask about golf.
What's your average golf score, Enzo?
I don't play golf, man.
Thank you.
No, okay. The fan said it's moto, man. Everyone plays golf.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
You're not one of them. Okay. Well, we tried. I
Yeah.
basically, like I said, I wanted to ask that just to irritate Darkside over here.
Yeah,
I'm from Brazil, man. We play soccer.
There
Okay.
you go. There
All
you go.
right.
Yeah, I don't play
Well, okay. Well,
golf
then we'll change it. The World Cup's coming up in a couple of months. Are you gonna like? Do you follow that like pretty hardcore or what?
No, not really. Not anymore. I used to.
Okay. Well, I tried, man.
Yeah, no, I'm really into moto and like right now, cycling and F1. That's it.
Oh yeah. You know what, Enzo? I watched the Netflix show, The Drive to Survive, which I think everybody now watches, and I really, really love watching that show. I still struggle to enjoy the racing because it's so based on like technology and stuff. Like I don't like that. I want those guys. I want it all driver ability, and F1 is. There's just so much technology involved, and I kind of get bummed out. Maybe I should watch a whole race because, if I'm being honest, I haven't watched a whole race. But
yeah, it's tough. Like especially like the teams can control the cars, from the pit area,
Yeah,
which
I
is
don't
kind
like
of
that.
weird. And I feel like they should all have the same car, and
Yep.
yeah, that would work the best because then talent will show actually, because you have some guys that are really talented on slower cars. So
exactly. That's kind of why, like, when I watched, I was watching this last season of Drive to Survive, and like the last episode's about the final race, and they moved some lappers out of the way, and every, one team was mad, and then they just kind of used technology where it's like, well, those cars don't draft well. So if you're in dirty air, you can't catch up. And I was like, well, that's kind of not fun. Like I want you to have to charge into the corner harder to gain speed, and there to be room to make a pass. And I don't know, man, I'm not giving it a fair chance probably because I haven't watched a full race, but it does not excite me like a lot of people.
You want that Days of Thunder racing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking. I know one interesting thing about America.
Okay.
You guys don't have like sweet pizza. Not that I've seen like we do in Brazil.
What is sweet pizza?
Like with chocolate and stuff. We have with chocolate.
Like a dessert pizza.
We got
like a
pineapple
dessert
and ham.
Are you fucking kidding me? No.
Yeah, I'm out on that too.
We have chocolate, dark chocolate. We have white chocolate. We have ice cream. We have everything.
God damn.
Like literally everything you can think of. We have like as a dessert.
There's
pizza.
a local pizza buffet in the town that I'm from that has a chocolate chip pizza for dessert, and I go there just for that.
But it's not normal though. It's not a regular thing you'll find at like.
Yeah, usually it's like honey buns or something, cinnamon rolls,
I'm
something
going
like
to
that.
Brazil, man. Like I'm
Dude,
booking-
no way. Like you can find sweet pizza everywhere you go in Brazil.
Yeah.
That's interesting for me.
I think I'm about to book some flights. One-way
Yeah,
ticket
you
to
can
Brazil.
come. Oh yeah.
I like it. Dude, Enzo, this has been a lot of fun talking to you, man.
No, it's been awesome, guys.
Yeah, anytime you want to come on, just hit me up, but we'll get you on again before outdoors for sure.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in.
All right, Enzo, thank you so much, man. I'll see you at Salt Lake City. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, I'll see you there then.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Dude, Enzo Lopes, that was awesome.
Yeah, that might have been one of our best interviews we've had in a couple of times.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
As far as like
think-
chill conversation, yeah.
I remember talking to him for the first time at Dallas, I think in 19 during track walk. And he didn't talk to me very much. And I felt like he didn't want to talk to me. Maybe his English, maybe he wasn't comfortable yet. But, after hearing him on Pulp and then talking to him in Dallas, I was like, okay, this dude's pretty cool. So I tried again, and I actually had to reach out to Mike to get his phone number. And that was a fun interview. I hope the listeners, if you guys still post, not everybody on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's not a big crowd on YouTube for some reason. Wish we could fix that. But anyway, in post, when you guys are listening to this, let us know what you think about this. Hit us up on our social. Go to you guys use our freaking email for just letting us know what you think. motoxpodshow@gmail.com. That stuff's important to me, just like the Patreon is. I want feedback. I love it when you guys reach out. If you hit us up on Instagram too, I almost always respond. I have a lot of people go, God, I can't believe you responded. Why wouldn't I? I take the time to try to answer everybody. But I want to hear what you guys think of that interview. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, his answer to the nerves he feels in the game, though. What the? am I doing here? That was great, bro. That was perfect.
He loves the F-bomb. So
He hangs out with his American influence is Phil. So
if you guys listen with kids, sorry, man.
yeah, he even got me to say the F word. I don't think I've ever said the F word on this show.
I have. Okay, we're a few minutes late on Benny, which I let him know. Let's take our second commercial break, which is new commercials. Please listen to these.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, listen to them, man. They're good. My stepdaughters rocked it. Yeah, it's good stuff. So listen to them and hit us up, motoxpodshow@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. We'll be right back with Benny Bloss. We're back from our second commercial break. And next up, brought to you by Fly Racing and X Brand Goggles. It's Team Tedder's Benny Bloss, man. It's been a little while, Benny. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We just got off the phone with Enzo Lopes. It was his first time on the show, and that was really good. And now we get to talk to you, man.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. You were out, obviously, with the collarbone and ankle, right?
Yep.
Came back, St. Louis, 15th, Atlanta, 13th. Probably not the best finish you would want, but not bad considering coming off injury and a field that's still got a lot of talent in it.
Yeah, definitely was not ideal. But it's really hard to kind of come back, especially mid-season, I guess towards the end of the season when all these guys have been racing.
Yeah, big time.
It's been a little rough. I'm kind of surprised that I was able to start riding as soon as I was, but just trying to take it day by day and get better.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking, like, if you were to have an injury, let's say a month before Supercross starts, and you have a month of prep, that's difficult, right? Because those guys, usually they're, just coming off an injury in general is a pain. But then coming off an injury at almost the end of Supercross, where everybody that's still left is in full swing, yeah, that's really, like, that's just almost, there's no winning almost. I mean, like, let me just get through it. Let me survive, hopefully make the main event. And, like, I think that's a goal in itself.
Yeah, it kind of sucked because at first, like, I don't know, I guess it'd be right before I went in for surgery, I was talking to the doctor and he was like, probably get back on the bike in 4 to 6 weeks. And then it's like, okay, perfect. So then, like, after surgery, we're like, okay, we can probably come back to racing at Minneapolis, which was the first East Coast round.
Yep. Cold.
Round 7. It's like, okay, that's pretty good. And then it's just keeps getting pushed back, and it's just, it was hard. But then it's like, I kind of at one point was like, maybe I should just wait till outdoors, but I don't have a ride for outdoors. So it's like, I can't really do that. But I was able to get back to riding. And then I think I got like 3 days before, I think maybe 4 days before of Supercross before St. Louis. And a Triple Crown is definitely not the most ideal race to come back to, but
nope,
it worked out.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the Triple Crown being your first race back, right? Very little time in between, 3 main events, a lot more intensity. Like, actual time on the bike might not be that much more than a normal race, but the intensity, I mean, again, I'm not out there, but that's what I keep hearing, is the intensity of 3 mains versus a heat race intensity is quite a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely super high intensity, but I was kind of looking at the positives, though, also. It's like, I get 3 chances of racing.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, my first one was pretty bad, but then my second one was going really well, and then I fell off the bridge.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to ask you about that.
The third one was just okay.
Is that the first? I feel like you fell off a bridge before. Maybe it was somebody else, but that's not the first time it's happened. But for some reason, I was thinking you've done it before.
I have never done it before.
Okay.
But I know other people have.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I rode press day and I was talking to somebody and I was like, I guarantee you somebody goes off the side of that thing because of how soft the face was. And then turns out I'm the guy to do it.
And they have like a little catch fence thing there, right? It just doesn't extend out far enough, probably.
Yeah, I think it's just like for the flat part up top.
Yeah.
And there was actually quite a few people that got caught in that.
No way.
Throughout the day.
Jeez.
And then, but my problem was I kind of just jumped a little too far into the face and it just threw me just a little bit left. And I landed like at the top of the downside and I hit a tough block and I was like, I have no idea how far over the dirt goes. and then like the tough block just kind of pushed off, and then there was just nothing. And I was like,
Yeah, you're probably thinking, oh, here goes the collarbone again. You know, that's what I think every time I hit the deck now, because my collarbone seems to be the one thing I land on every single time. Yeah. Is yours plated?
My collarbone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's mine too. It sucks.
Yeah.
So
It honestly hasn't been bad. The collarbone bothered me for like the week before surgery, because I waited a week to get it, and then like the week after surgery it was sore, and then like after that it was pretty much fine.
Okay.
The ankle was like the real issue.
What was wrong with the ankle? Was it broke, or was there like ligaments or what?
So I broke like the ball on the inside was just, he said it kind of looked like just an explosion had gone off.
Oh shit.
And then I broke like a piece of the outside off as well. So I got a big plate and a bunch of screws on the inside, and then I had a screw on the outside, which I want to say I got taken out like 5 weeks after surgery.
Yeah.
So I did that, obviously broke the collarbone. So I had 3 surgeries between those two. And then I broke my back in 2 spots and a rib as well.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Wow. God dang, Benny.
Yeah, it was not ideal.
No. No. Stop crashing, dude.
yeah. Skate better. Just skate better.
I mean, I'm one to talk.
Yeah.
Every time I go ride a dirt bike or a BMX bike, I'm, like I said, landing on my collarbone.
Yeah, how epic is that going to be when you just wreck the crap out of that brand new YZ250?
No more wrecks for me, dude.
No, you're
No,
done?
I'm going slow. Yeah, I told Kiefer last night, like when we filmed this video of me riding this bike, you better actually what he has to do, I said speed it up, but he needs to slow the video down so when they play at normal speed, it looks like I'm going fast.
Yeah.
Because I will not be riding fast anymore, Scott. Not that I ever did, but yeah, no more crashing for me. Well, let's talk about Benny though.
Okay, so being off as long as you were away from Supercross, when you came back to it, did you like notice anything different? Like, did anything stand out that was like, man, this was not the same when the last time I was racing Supercross? Maybe it's something with the tracks or kind of just with the vibe in general. Is like, did that change for you at all?
Honestly, the biggest difference is the tracks. I would say I've only done 2 races so far, but I've watched all of the other ones, and it seems like the whoops are a little nastier.
Yes. Yeah, there's no seems like.
Yeah, I feel like it's
yeah. They have claimed some people this year, man.
Well, it's weird because like they break down, and they always break down, but like a lot of times, especially like St. Louis, I expected to be jumpers, and there was like a V line down them, like how it would get when you jump them, but it was like you kind of couldn't jump them the way that they were torn up. It was just weird. And then Atlanta's were also really gnarly.
Yeah. Do you feel like, again, I'm still in content, Scotty, from Steve Mathis, but
yeah,
the way we went to time main events, and these short lap times are making like what, 45, 46 laps or something. Or was it? Or how many laps were we doing? 40, not 40.
Yeah, in the main?
Yeah, was it?
No, it's like 26, 27, yeah.
27 laps. And with the 450s, obviously these tracks are getting chewed up maybe a little bit more than years in the past. And I think that's part of it. Like
Survivor Cross.
Yeah, Survivor Cross, right? Benny, do you
I
feel like...
definitely agree.
Oh, go ahead.
With that. I definitely agree with the more laps, you get 7, 8 more laps than if it was a 20-lap main with 22 guys. It's going to get quite a bit more torn up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many more bikes. Like if you take 22 bikes times 4 or 5 more laps times a couple classes, that's a lot of abuse on that track. So I think it was Paul Parabino's last night that was kind of like, man, we need to have either like if it's a plus 50-second lap time, then we could do 20 plus 1. But if it's under like a 45-second lap time, then we need to go to all right, a timed race. Like maybe they need to have a rule that's like the lap, or make the lap times, they have to be 55 seconds or 54 or whatever they come up with. But like there's some adjustments that need to be made, Benny.
I mean, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. It's like last year there was quite a few tracks where we're in the 40s in the lap times, and like I just don't get it. I'm personally not a big fan of that, but I mean, I guess if the track's gnarlier, it makes for better racing for the fans to watch. I don't know.
I don't think so. No, because people are getting weeded, and it's not better racing to me. I'd rather them figure out a way to make it not so fast, like all the rhythms where they're jumping quads. Like I'd rather I don't know, man. You're racing at that level, right? So like I feel like if they would slow it down by maybe making it a little more peaky, where it's a little more technical, and slow you down a little bit, and more corners. And not be like, all right, here's this rhythm lane where you're going to go 3, 4, 3.
Yeah.
And like 3 jumps and you're out of the entire length of a stadium. And I kind of switching gears just a little bit. I didn't go to Detroit. I've never been there. I'm pretty sure that's the floor that, like, on TV, it looked like it was huge, like Glendale. But then we had like 47 second lap times. Like, I don't understand how you can have a huge football stadium floor and still have the slowest lap times. Like, that makes or the shortest lap times. That makes no sense. They're misusing the floor, in my opinion. Now, I don't know how to fix it other than what I said a minute ago, but they got to figure it out, man. And I think they will. I think there's been enough complaints this year that they got to do something different.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, that's for sure.
What do you think about what I said, though? Like, would as a racer, if they peaked out the jumps more, and, you know, maybe the doubles are a little shorter, but they're taller, and you got to slow down to do it. And downside, I don't know.
Like how it used to be?
Yeah, like you go to some 80s and 90s Supercross where
the bikes just aren't
they look like they're
that
going
anymore,
so
though.
slow, but they're having to use more technique, McGrath, right? But what do you think, Benny? I mean, would that work or no?
I feel like it should, but
But it probably won't.
It's hard to say yes or no because, you know, you never really know until they do it. But, I mean, it makes sense that maybe it would be like that. But then, like, these dirt bikes are so fast and so good. It's like these guys are going to find a way. Like at St. Louis, after you go down the start straight, you go left into the long rhythm.
Yeah.
And I was watching the second practice. I was in B practice, so I was watching the second A practice. And Barsha goes 3 on, 3 off, quad into the corner.
Right.
And I'm
ridiculous.
Just watching. I hope nobody saw that. And then the third practice, like, almost all of them are doing it. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, it's like the big booter this week in Atlanta, right? Nobody really wanted to do that.
Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad.
Really?
The morning press session, and I was the first one to hit it.
Go figure.
Nice.
And literally all of us hit it, like, perfect. But the problem would be I would want absolutely nothing to do with that jump on the first lap.
Right.
Because you go down the start straight, turn left, go through a rhythm, turn left, turn right, and you're right there. And then having to hit that for 20 minutes plus a lap is just stupid.
Yeah. I still feel like this is going to sound really dumb, but if you had, instead of a triple that's, what are they, 65 feet? Something like that?
Somewhere around
like,
60.
what if you had a double that was 40 feet, but it sent you like 15 feet higher, but it's really slow, like just, and you're up there. You know, like, but I don't know. Like, it probably wouldn't work, but I just feel like I love seeing you guys, like the quad at Dallas last year. I remember that one specifically, and I think Brayton might have been one of the first ones to do it, but there was a big quad.
I know what you're talking about.
Only a couple guys were doing it.
It was
it's
gnarly.
so badass to watch. But every time I'm like, God, don't let these guys get killed. Like, don't let somebody... Like, I don't know, man. It scares the shit out of me, especially now that some of you guys are my friends. I'm like, oh, God, I don't know. I don't want it so fast. I don't want you to be able to jump 100 feet, really, in distance. I don't want that. I don't need to see that anymore. I jump 80 feet straight up and just come straight back down. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's hard to figure out how to do it.
There's no
I did see so many comments about people talking about how soft we are for not wanting to have that jump and have to race that jump, and it's just like, you guys are so dumb.
Yeah, that's people that don't fucking have to go jump it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And they're like, oh, well, they're professionals. They should be good enough to do that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, everybody's fine to jump it. But it's a completely different thing when you are racing and you have to hit it every single lap. And my biggest thing was off the start was just like, that's not be cool.
Yeah, well, and I had buddies in a group text that were like, hey, they don't have to jump it. They're not being forced to jump it. Well, that's unrealistic. Like, if you have one guy that's jumping it and you're like, well, I'm not jumping it, well, then you're screwed, you know? And that's, you shouldn't have to, like, literally, okay, if I want to compete with so-and-so, I have to almost die. Like, I mean, yes, everything you guys do is dangerous. A standard triple can be dangerous. But you have to draw a line somewhere where, like, this is not worth it. And if you want, like, the show, the Larocco's leap, the cool jump, you got to make it safe. Like, fine, make a big jump, but make it really a nice taper down landing or something. You know, you got to find that line. It doesn't have to be, as Phil said, death cross. Like, it doesn't have to be do this, die, or, you know, or whatever. Like, that shouldn't be in the option. Like, well, I got to try this. I might die, but I'm going to try it anyway. Like, that shouldn't even be an option.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely 100% agree with that. And
Good.
like most outdoor races have big jumps.
Yeah.
And they have them, they're fine. They're safe. They're good. Sometimes Redbud does get a little questionable with the roller they build before it, but
right. Yeah.
I've framed that jump pretty bad before, so.
Glenn Helen a few years ago.
Oh yeah, that one was stupid. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a big fan of that one.
No, I don't think anybody was. And including Davey Coombs. I think that's why.
Well, I mean, it's cool to hit those jumps. Those are fun. I think it's super cool, but when you're having to race 30 minutes on the track, it's
right. It's a little much. Yeah. Go ahead, Scott. I've interrupted you a bunch, Scotty. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We have a listener question. They said they wanted to know if you're on the new KTM or if you're still on the old one, and if you are on it, how do they compare?
I am still on the old one, and I have not tried out the new one yet.
Well, seeing how everything went this year, you're probably not too upset with that.
Probably not too, yeah.
I mean, yeah, some of them seem to be struggling with it. I will tell you that bike does look better in the whoops.
You think? Because everybody's struggling in the whoops.
I think it looks. I mean, I don't know. I think it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything, the whoops always look hard to me, so it's like whatever. Everything I see in the whoops, I'm like, oh, that would kill me right there. Like, yeah, that's I'll go around those bitches.
It seems like Coop has been skimming the whoops pretty good, and I feel like in the past he's struggled maybe a little bit with that.
Right. True. Yeah.
I would say that's the one thing that he's been better at this year is the whoops. Like he figured the whoops out, and then everything else he lost.
I feel like he's talked about it's not as easy, even though he looks better. I feel like he said that like the whoops have been a struggle.
His
whole
thing's a mystery this year.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Scotty.
Oh, okay. So
listener question.
I kind of consider you, when I think of you, I think of outdoors. I think some of your best results have been outdoors. And so now that you had those injuries, you've had the time to recover, you're getting some momentum building in Supercross, getting some races back under your belt. I feel like that kind of gives you an opportunity to turn some heads this outdoor season. And I feel like that you can, and do you kind of think that you'll turn some heads this year going into the outdoor season?
He doesn't have a deal yet, so hopefully we get a deal done.
Well, I didn't know that, so
he said that a little bit ago. Way to listen, Scotty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have zero. I shouldn't say zero. I'm got like 10% of I know what I'm gonna do for outdoors.
Okay.
And the 10% is
questionable.
Just that I know that I'm gonna race outdoors. Okay. I just don't know.
I forgot that Tedder's Supercross only. Yeah. I didn't think about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll fire myself.
I've talked to them about possibly doing outdoors, but no matter what, I'm going to do it because 5 Supercross races is not enough. And I do think of myself kind of as more of an outdoor guy. So one way or another, I'll be there.
All right. I have a comment that I have in my notes that I want, and I don't know if you noticed this, but I was looking through your Instagram earlier, and you made a post on Valentine's Day with multiple pictures of you and your wife.
Okay.
You're with me, right?
Yes.
There is a picture with a tree in the background. And when I first glanced at it, like I was scrolling through, it looked like you had long hair. So I need you to go back and look at that. Just check it out. Anybody that's listening, check out Benny's Instagram. Yeah, you look like, okay, the first thing that went through my mind is like Phil Collins from Genesis. Like, my God. It looked like he was balding on top, but it had some locks.
Like
I want to make fun of your
Scorpions
Instagram
guy.
I don't have long hair anymore, right? My pony's gone, man.
I'm looking at the picture right now. I don't really feel like it makes it look like I have a lot.
I think maybe it's just because I glanced, like I was just scrolling real fast. But if you look, the tree in the background kind of looks like it could be your hair. If you just if you're going fast.
I can see it a little bit.
Okay. So I was scrolling and I had to go back to it. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Was this like an old picture of Benny? Like when he had hair? Okay.
I see it, but you're an idiot, Dark Side.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, to be fair, I have hair there. It's just not
flowing.
a lot.
It's not flowing locks?
No.
Yeah, mine either. It's all gone.
You're a lot happier now, aren't you, though?
I'm what?
Are you a lot happier now?
No, I'm not happier. I was happy before. I like my hair. My chick loved my hair. I'm not unhappy, honestly. It's just different. It's fine. It's just different. It's weird.
I think he looks way more professional.
Well, everybody says that, but they don't know anything. Like,
none of us know anything.
What Steve said last night is like, even Ricky Carmichael said you look better. I was like, what does Ricky Carmichael know?
If he says it, then you have to just accept it.
Gospel.
It's like a 10 commandment at that point.
I need to get McGrath to be like, no, you look cooler before, because McGrath is the end all be all.
Dude, okay. I know, like, we're kind of taking the spotlight off of Benny. I'm sorry, but I saw a guy walking out of Super One the other day, and he was wearing a Deadpool basketball jersey.
Oh wow!
And he had long hair, kind of like how yours used to be. And I'm like, that was what the people saw Darkseid as, and you're not that guy anymore. And I'm like,
that's soul crushing.
I was so proud that, like, you know what, he's not. He was in that category, and now he has moved on to a different one. So I think it was a right move.
I know you don't care about any of this, Benny.
I'm sorry you got involved in that, but
like 2 weeks before I flew to Minneapolis to get my haircut on the pulp thing, I was like seeing people everywhere I went, like older guys, older than me, with like beer bellies, long hair, like stringy ponytails.
This was the guy I saw.
And
yes.
I was like, I don't want to be that guy.
You were that guy. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. You were that guy.
Hey, Scotty, you know what?
What?
F you.
Yeah, it's okay, man.
Anyway, Benny.
Sorry, Benny.
Yeah, last question for you, man. You been a dad for about a year now? How old's your boy?
He is like 13 and a half months.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because, he was born right around the time my granddaughter was. How's it going, man? Is everything kind of, you got a program going, everything comfortable now? Or are you still, learning new things every day?
I mean, it's still kind of learning new things every day, but it's the most fun part of my life. Like, it is, he's at the age right now where it's just like, he started like running pretty much.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's like starting to talk, and he's just like super happy when he sees you.
Nice.
He is a lot of fun right now.
Good for you, man.
We've started night terrors, which are not a lot of fun. But we're trying to work through those. And
explain what's night terrors. Like he just wakes up like screaming?
So he wakes up screaming, and like you try to comfort him, but he really doesn't have. It's like he's not aware that you're there.
Oh wow!
And so you just have to like try your best to comfort him, and it's like he's not fully awake.
Yeah.
It sucks to have to see him go through it. I also had those a lot growing up. Last week I actually had he had a night terror at like 3 a.m. or something, and we could not get him to calm down. And the way that I got him to calm down was I put him in the car seat, and I drove around for about 40 minutes at 3 o'clock in the morning. So not ideal, but
no, I've never heard of that with a baby before. I guess I've heard of night terrors, like just have nightmares type stuff, but I guess I'd never really understood that like little children can have that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah. It sucks to have to see.
Yeah,
it's like you feel helpless, and it's
sure.
It sucks.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, I was sitting here just thinking, like, I've had to put my kid when he was a baby in the car like that, but it's usually he'd wake up hungry and just not go back to sleep. I don't know that he ever had night terrors. So wow, that's a lot to deal with, man. But I need to send you something. My son now is 24, and I still have his 49er jersey from when he was a baby. So I got you covered.
I don't need that. That's the problem.
I think you do, because I saw that jersey you had on him, and I feel really bad for him.
What jersey was it?
I'll
He's a Chiefs
admit
fan.
The organization might not be making the best moves as of recently.
Yeah.
But they got to have a plan. So
That's what I keep hoping about my team. Yeah. I mean, make a decision on a quarterback, please, and let's get with it. Come on.
see, thankfully the Chiefs don't have that quarterback issue.
Yeah. You know, I think we might have talked about this last time. He's from right down the road from
He's
us.
from like 15 minutes where I grew up. Are you on the bandwagon that they all hate his wife and his brother?
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're it's a little annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
It's like you don't have to do any of that. Just watch the football game.
They definitely bring out that town that they're from. They bring that out in them.
Yeah.
You see, you go to that town and you see that. I'll just tell you that much.
Your town, pretty much, though.
I'm sorry.
But that's your town?
Well, okay, so like we live in Tyler, which is probably about like 100 to 150,000 people, and then there's like a lot of like really like small little like subdivision towns around it, kind of like suburbs, but not really. They're kind of more of like little country towns. And he went to one of those. It's like 15 minutes outside of the city limit of the 150,000 town.
Okay.
Yeah. Little country towns, little hillbilly hick towns.
Yeah, little small, like 3,000, 4,000 population towns. So that's where he came from.
Makes sense.
All right, Benny. Man, we're going to let you go. I appreciate you coming on, man. I was kind of worried when you didn't answer me right away. I was like, oh, he's blocking, he's cool guying me or something.
No, thank you for having me on. I always like coming on, and it's fun to talk a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Missed having you at the all season long. Glad you're back, and really hope it comes together for outdoors. And I'll be in Salt Lake City, so I'll see you in a few weeks.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, buddy.
Well,
Take care.
you.
Be safe.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, Benny Bloss. Appreciate him coming on. We've got a few minutes before Castloo.
Yep.
So you wanted to do your trivia question for the Grill Your Ass Off sampler pack. Don't forget, for you that are listening in post on audio, we've already done the trivia contest. It's where will Kyle Chisholm finish in Foxborough on the 250. I need those emails, motoxpodshow@gmail.com, in by Friday if you want to be eligible. But Scotty has a trivia question for our YouTube listeners.
And of course, now we're on a low number of YouTube listeners when I try to do it. But okay,
whatever, do it.
The few of you that are on there, you get this opportunity. So the question is...
Hey, I was going to give away we're going to give away a 2022 YZ 450, but there's not enough people listening on YouTube, so...
Well, you were going to give away a chance at a...
Yeah, we're going to give away a chance, but there's just not enough people watching.
Let's read the fine print there.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so for the Grill Your Ass Off 7 sampler pack, the question in honor of the fact that we were at a speedway this weekend, I wanted to go to figure out the last year that they had a Charlotte race at the Motor Speedway there and who got 5th place in that race.
Okay.
And I'm not counting this is AMA like Supercross, not the
GP.
Not the MXGP that they had there a few years ago. That does not count.
Okay. All right.
That's the question. So I'm going to be watching for it in the YouTube comment section.
We still need to. I feel like I just want to pick a name for the head at this point. Instead of doing let the YouTube people vote or listen.
Go for it, man.
Yeah. I personally like Gwendolyn Renee that Garrett put in. I like Gwendolyn Renee.
It's just so random.
I don't really like there's a couple.
Why is it a chick? It's a dude. It's you.
That's a mannequin of a chick, I think.
Yeah, but it's the haircut.
It's not supposed to be me, or we just call it Jamie or something. It's not me. It's Gwendolyn Renee.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
it's your head,
Rockley,
man.
It's your head. All right, Garrett Rockley wins. It's Gwendolyn Renee. So, Garrett, you're going to win a Cherby's USA casual pack. I believe Brian said 2 shirts and a hat. I will verify. I've got your info. I'll get you in touch with Brian. We'll figure it out. So, congrats, Garrett. There were some other good ones. I mean, the other options. Here's the thing. The reason I'm not letting YouTube pick is because there's not enough damn people on YouTube, and it's frustrating. I'm getting mad at our YouTube listeners. So, I'm venting.
You hear that, guys?
But, yeah, I'm mad. But the other options were Babyface, which we talked about. That was the name from the toy in Toy Story.
Yeah.
El Chap, Pedro, Mo.
You mean El Chapo?
I wrote El Chap. He probably did right. It probably was El Chapo. Mo, Lester, and Meave Stathis. So those were some other options that I wrote down. But I like Gwendolyn Renee. That's the one that works for me. That looks like a Gwendolyn Renee to me.
Sounds good. Way to go, Garrett.
It is now Gwendolyn Renee.
I haven't heard of Garrett. He's not in today. He must have got something going on with the kids.
Maybe. Commercial break. We'll be back with Charles Castloo.
Yeah, the YouTube guys have kind of come and gone a little bit. They're kind of there, kind of not.
Yeah, we're gonna stop doing this YouTube crap.
No, I like doing it. It makes my evening a lot more entertaining. And I know that's the whole reason that you do all of this work and stay up all these hours late is to have me entertained for the 2 hours that I'm here.
Yeah.
But I think I like the involvement. I think it gives more a little spice to the show because sometimes they'll come up with a question that I didn't think about.
Yeah, I really want them involved. It's just like
it takes time. It's a baby.
I've been doing this for years.
For YouTube,
I've got I sit there and listen to some other people and they're like, yeah, we had 10,000 people or download and watch. I'm like,
yeah, but not live on YouTube. That's a whole different game, dude.
Maybe. How about those blue X-Brand goggles right there?
I can't even see them where I'm sitting.
They're on the side that way. That's my new pair for the Yamaha. Man, those things are sweet. I have more for sale if you guys are interested in X-Brand.
By the way.
Yeah. Like you can go to your local dealership, check them all out, all the lines distributed through WPS. But I have multiple pairs like that. Actually, the pair, I don't know if it's on the wide shot, but that pair on the table is a pair that I have for sale of the new Lucids. I think it's white in that box, but those are for sale. The blue ones, yeah, those are mine.
Yeah, I might need to. I might have to borrow a pair of clear lensed ones for the free race I'm doing this weekend.
What do you mean borrow a pair?
You won't let me use a pair of clear lenses, or you want me to just buy it?
Oh, you just need a lens.
Well, I don't have any X-Brand goggles, unfortunately.
Well, buy some.
All right. Well, it was just an idea.
I can loan you a pair of mine. I don't have like demos.
That's not what I was just saying. Like, loan me a pair of yours.
Yeah, I can loan you a pair of mine. Like, I loan you a pair of the new ones. I mean, I put a clear lens in. I don't run the clear lens.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
But yeah, I could do that. Just remind me before you leave because that's the next weekend.
It's this weekend.
This weekend coming up. Yeah, I doubt I'm coming out. I might go out to try to sell some stuff. But
yeah, I've never heard of such a thing. Our local track is throwing like a completely free race, and like
Swan MX
gate fee, race fee.
Gate fee. I'm out if there's a. I'm not going anywhere.
No, I said gate. You didn't let me finish. Gate fee,
not
race fee, practice fee. Everything is free.
What? So, never mind. It's a bad joke. You're not listening.
What?
Sound like you said gay feed.
Oh,
free.
No, that's
gay
not what
free.
I said at all.
Fee. Gay fee. There's a gay fee. I'm not okay. Like he's gonna right? Non-gay people are free.
Yeah, that's
and there's a fee for gay people.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that. Way to go.
Like
yeah.
Man, that's very, very prejudiced, and I don't dig that.
Dude, you're so far off.
Why is there a gay fee?
But Jake said, "Wait, Scotty, what is your payroll?" Good point, Jake. Good point.
Payroll?
Yeah.
For what's he talking about?
I don't know, but I'm assuming that we're going to somewhere that I don't get paid. So I like where he's going with this.
Has that got something to do with goggles?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what that's in reference to there, Jake.
Yeah, Jake. Elaborate, Jake.
Hurry up because we got to get Castloo on.
Yeah. Oh, yes, B Cruz. I will be at the Swan Round 1.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I may head over. Is it Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, Saturday night race. Like me, JT, Chase, probably some other people are all doing that. We did the same class in the night race, so that'll be cool. I would be more likely to come over and hang out if you guys wouldn't park in the back. Like they always park up there by the flagpole. I need to park near I need to be where like the bikes go down for staging.
so that I can set up my goggles display where people will see me. And that's like you guys park, or JT always parks way around the back, and there's nobody back there. And like it doesn't do me any good to go out there and set up when nobody can see you.
We'll just go set up your stand at the front.
Because that costs a little money. He's like $150 to do that.
So you just need to park where it's
I just
close.
want to park somewhere where people go by and set up the easy up and all the goggles and make some cash. Cash.
You just need to get, what you need to do is get like one of those like detective coats, like this long like
a trench coat?
Trench coat. Yeah, get a trench coat and you just be walking around like, hey man,
dude,
you need some goggles, dude. And you just pull out like a row of X brands like on your side right here.
The first time that I ever started selling X brand, I didn't have tables or anything. I had a backpack full of X brand. I was at Oak Hill and I walked from truck to truck and opened my bag and I sold every pair that day. And that's how I started getting in with Rich to do it the way I do it now. Like the next week he sent me more that I had to pay for the first time.
Yeah.
Then the second time I bought 20 or 25 more pair. Same thing. Next race, having a bag, walked from truck to truck, sold them all. And, so I did do that. Not in a trench coat, but I had a backpack full of goggles. I was hustling, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, you need some goggles,
it was kind of
dude?
awkward, but I sold them all, And now, dude, I got easy ups and tables. But I haven't been to, like, a local race to do that, I bet, in over a year, maybe 2 years. Because I don't ever go to local races anymore.
Yeah.
I was about to say something about that. And I don't know.
You're going to have a bike here soon, so you can start making that reality.
I'm going to start trail riding.
Yeah, that two-stroke will be sweet in the woods.
I think so. Let's get Castloo.
I want to ride that bike.
Probably not. Oh, I only share stuff with my friends. So TJ can't ride it either.
Hello?
Charles, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. You ready to get into this?
Yeah, you can hear me all right?
Oh, yeah. Sound good. Scotty, my co-host, is in studio, so he'll probably ask you some questions as well. We're live on YouTube, but we'll get rolling if you're ready.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Next up, he is brought to you by Blood Lubricants. Blood Lubricant oil lines were created to bring out the highest level of performance and protection for all types of racing. Check out the new Barracuda line of Blood with multiple weights, better protection, better performance, and last longer. Chris Kiefer tested to run the bikes up to 30 to 35 degrees cooler. BloodLubricants.com. Use promo code MOTOX to save. As well as Racetech. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. Visit Racetech.com for more info and use promo code MOTOXPOD to save. Tonight, Blood Lubricants and Racetech brings us, formerly from 100% Goggles, now with Stacyc, Mr. Charles Castloo. What's up, dude?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So I had heard rumors that you were going to be moving over to Stacyc, and then I saw your post, and I was like, oh, shoot, he did do it. So I should have probably reached out to you ahead of time. But, yeah, man, long time at 100%. I don't have to pretend like I like those goggles anymore, huh?
Yeah.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Yeah. All good.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just sort of floored here. You said there was rumors of me moving. I didn't realize people even knew or paid attention.
Yeah, I don't remember where I heard it, but somebody told me that they heard you were moving to Stacyc and leaving 100%. I cannot for the life of me remember where it was. And I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. And I thought about asking you, but I figured you probably wouldn't tell me if it was, because you probably didn't need it out there. But yeah, I'm sure there's no hard feelings, right? The guys at 100% have been great to you. But what brought the move on? Was it just because you wanted to come back to Texas, or what?
That's the genesis of it, right? Raising my kids and my family and sort of the culture and atmosphere that I was brought up in.
Mm-hmm.
I was born and raised just outside of Houston, and Stacyc is up just west of Fort Worth, so it's not exactly home, but it's the general upbringing and people and, again, culture and atmosphere that I was around and grew up around, and that's just where I wanted to sort of raise my kids and my family. And I was telling someone earlier today that you rewind and ask me 14 years ago or 12 years ago how I liked California, I had a pretty canned answer that was, it's great, the weather's awesome, I like it, I love what I do, but I don't intend to raise a family here. And sure as shit, fast forward 14 years, I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old in Southern California, and I sort of had a bit of a wake-up call with like, hey, this wasn't part of the plan. So
yeah,
Absolutely no hard feelings with 100%. This was completely motivated by my family and kids.
Who's taken over your position at 100%? Do you know, or they have that set up yet?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a transition. I had the talk with Ludo, the owner and co-owner and CEO, 7-8 months ago now, and so this wasn't completely out of the blue. He put a lot of trust in me and a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. So I had this conversation with him really early on, and then things sort of fast tracked a little bit here the last couple months, and I ended up giving him about a month, like, hard, here it is, this is happening, notice. And so through that, he asked me to help him work through the transition and how it was going to look. All that to say that Clayton Murillo, which was sort of my go-to guy, helped me through my whole time at 100% on the sales side of things. He's stepping up and taking over North America sales for the moto and bike channel, and he's ready. He's more than capable, and quite frankly did most of the job while I was there. And on the marketing side, they're not going to put someone in my seat that I know of. The transition plan was a little bit more of get me out the door, figure out who does what and where the holes are and where the gaps are, and then sort of assess how many people they need to bring in and what sort of where, I mean? Like, not necessarily try to trade in and out for me, just figure out what they actually need and then build from there versus trying to just replace me, if you will.
That makes sense. Like, it's really impressive when you look at podium finishes and how many riders are in 100% goggles, how well that company has grown and how successful it's been. Really, it's very impressive. Obviously you and I have talked, I work for Rich a little bit and they sponsor the show, but you can't take anything away from how good the quality of the product is and, what you guys have done to build it. It's been super impressive. Right.
Yeah. And I don't take much credit for it, being honest. The company it's such a meaningful brand.
Yeah.
Like the name, the history and the legacy and all that good stuff. And it's pretty much a perfect storm of Mark and Ludo, the two co-founders. They're just brilliant in their own lanes, and when they work together, they can do some really amazing stuff, and the brand is a testament to that, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, talk about Stacyc, man. Like, obviously they have been making a huge push over the last few years, and just, it seems like, again, I don't have any little kids, so I've never bought like a little Stacyc bike, but like the product, it seems like from what I see, making big pushes, making big improvements, and multiple products. Like there's multiple lines, it seems like, right?
Yeah, it's forever, and I guess the backbone is still the 12 and the 16 e-drive size bikes, and then the 18 and the 20 just launched literally over the weekend.
Oh, cool. Okay.
First week there was, they were bringing basically doubling the SKU count, if you will, and doubling the offering of bikes from just a 12 and a 16 to an 18 and a 20. So, which has been a long time coming and a really long time of R&D, more than I even truly know about just yet. But I know Ryan Ragland, which is the co-founder and CEO now, has been working on this. It's been an obvious and very deliberate sort of next step forward for the brand development, being that they sort of, with the 16-inch, you cap out at a pretty young age, and so there's been, now that all those kids came on with 12s and then they grew into 16s, and now there's a phase of them, or a group of them that have now graduated and they're looking for the next bigger size bike. So the 18 and the 20 are the answers for that. And it's been, we're only 3 days in now since the commercial went live on Saturday during Atlanta Supercross, and not even a whole lot of people know I'm at Stacyc yet. I'm getting blown up by people about how cool it is and how can they get one and when can they get one.
What kind of deal can I get?
Right. It's really gratifying to be a part of something that, just like 100%, be a part of something that people are paying attention to and really resonate with.
I feel really bad for muting the commercials now. I saw the Stacyc commercial, like I've never seen it, but I was like messing with Pulp Fantasy and stuff during the commercials, and like I didn't pay attention, to be honest. So I had no idea. That's on me for not watching it, to know that that new liner was released. That's awesome. I've been riding a lot of 20-inch BMX stuff lately. Like maybe I need a Stacyc.
Yeah, it's 20 inch, but definitely more for
kids.
10, 11.
Yeah, I was joking, but
Yeah, you're like 6'2", bro. I don't think it's going to happen.
Anything's better than pedaling.
But it's definitely the natural progression for the brand, and then what's next, and what people have been asking for a while now. So.
I bet. Is that a company that's like individually owned, or did my buddy TJ who does the show said he thought he had heard that Harley was involved somehow, but I don't know any of the background.
Yep.
Okay.
And I haven't been there long enough to know what my do's and don'ts for.
Okay.
Yet, but I think it's pretty common, a little bit common knowledge within the industry that Harley Davidson does own it, and Ryan Raglan, which was the the founder and the brains behind it, and started in his garage just trying to make something for his kid to ride in the cul-de-sac, is still hands-on running the business, and he's there day in and day out, and a part of helping me make this decision. Right, it was all the family side of it, was the idea behind it, why I'm doing it, but then to have waiting for the right door to open, because I don't want to just work anywhere.
Right.
The Stacyc door got propped open, and I could see within it that Matt Schumann, which is the VP of marketing that brought me on, super smart guy, and I'm really looking forward to learning from him, and the ability to just like it 100%, where I could work alongside Ludo and Mark and sort of pick up on the way they do things as entrepreneurs, and the way they think, and sort of how the process works. I think the little bit that I know, that was enticing to me coming to Stacyc too, being able to see Rags and how he's built this he's built a category, right? Like he didn't take, a helmet and just make a cooler looking helmet or a better protecting helmet. He created a complete new category for opening the door for getting more kids on two wheels with a throttle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's really impressive. Smarter than me, Scotty.
Yeah. That was kind of what one of my questions was. Is like, you relatively don't really have much competition, and I'm kind of surprised to see like maybe these big hardware store brands like your Toro, your Steel, your Milwaukee that have like this battery technology. I'm surprised you haven't seen them kind of join this game. And do you guys kind of plan for any kind of competition to come in, or like what's your scope looking like in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, it's coming, right? Like
right. Somebody's going to try to get a piece of that pie, like.
And there's been some stuff pop up. So people take some shots at it from different angles and things, I think, but it's coming, and I think everybody sees the success that Stacyc has had, and the crazy growth rate that we're currently in today. So I'm sure it's coming, and we'll just have to sort of check it as it comes and see how we address it. But I think one of the most inspiring things about the company is that the vision and the mission and the whole essence of why Ryan and Matt Schumann that I mentioned, and Andy, the COO, why everybody gets out of bed to come there every day is very clear, and it's very simple, right? It's getting more kids on two wheels with the throttle at an earlier age, and then they're getting hooked into the power sports industry, and creating more motorcycle riders that then helps the whole industry grow. And on a higher level, it's about creating those experiences between the kids and the parents, right? From both sides.
Right.
Me as a parent, I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, both own Stacycs way before I ever worked at Stacyc. And giving my kids the avenue to sort of explore and find their love for two wheels, and then me as a parent have that ability to have those experiences with my kid. Like that's what this is all about. It's very gratifying to go to work at a place that's the mission, right?
Yeah, I love hearing that, man. You can tell how excited you are. Do you know, like, overall what your role will be? Like, with 100%, you didn't go to all the races, right? You weren't, like, the goggle guy at Supercross or whatever, but still very involved with Supercross and motocross, a sport you grew up doing and loving and still involve yourself in. What will your role be at Stacyc? Like, they're part of Supercross, but will you be going to events outside of dirt bikes?
A little TBD. I'm in the marketing department, though, and so I naturally different events and different things like that will end up on my plate at some point, I assume. But there's people there currently blocking and tackling and getting through all those things without me. So it's time to figure out sort of where I fit, where I can add value, and where I can help with my previous experience. So
awesome.
Yeah. So one of our listeners wanted to know if you had any like special mods that you put on your own kids, Stacyc, and if there was anything that you could maybe recommend of like kind of talking about how what they could do to modify their current Stacyc.
Quite frankly, and this is not, I don't have my Stacyc hat on here. I haven't done anything with my kids' bikes other than my 6-year-old is pretty tall for his age. So I got the bar riser kit. It just is a, taller bar and, for the bigger kids trying to fit on the bikes. So I do have the bar riser kit on my 6-year-old's 16. And then they both have graphics and that's it.
Right.
Nothing else. I know there's people out there with different tricks and things, and there's forums out there where parents are talking about how to make them faster and ride different tracks and all these different things. But quite frankly, I've stayed out of it. My kids are totally good with it stock. So
I had no idea like that was a thing. Wow, man.
Oh, dude, if they can mod it, they will, bro.
Yeah, I guess so. Right? Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool. Hell yeah, I gotta look more into this. I got a granddaughter that's 1, so it won't be long. She'll need something in a couple years. So, man,
the 12 then. Both my kids rode the 12 while they were still 2. So before their 3rd birthday, both were riding the 12. So
wow,
man, it's so because it makes it so confidence inspiring for the kid because they can put their feet flat on the ground and they can walk with it between their legs, with it on in the lowest mode and. They're barely moving and then trouble.
That's cool. Yeah, okay. I'm sold already. Like, especially now that you're part of it. So
one of our listeners says you need to get your granddaughter one.
Well, duh. The last.
I'm just telling you what they said.
It wasn't that long ago that I texted Charles. I needed a code for 100% for sunglasses. So I may be like, hey, do you got a code for Stacyc? In about a year and a half, like, hey, you got a code? But yeah, and thank you publicly for, again, everybody knows I'm X-Brand, but X-Brand doesn't have high-end sunglasses, and you help me out with a little bit of a discount on some sunglasses that I absolutely love. So 100% makes killer sunglasses. So thank you for that. You don't have to do that, and you did, so it means a lot.
Yeah, man, no worries. And I'm still I'm working at Stacyc, but I'm still a 100% supporter and rooting for those guys from the sidelines.
Yeah, as I've told you, if for some reason Rich was to close his doors, I would definitely. That's who I would support. It would be 100% because a lot for me, and I think you know this. Like a lot of my passion for supporting industries or businesses are guys that support Pulp because I have a passion for Pulp. And when you guys reach out and help him out, I want to support you, right? I mean, that's any of the sponsors. That's what I try to do. So, but then getting to meet you. Very nice guy. Didn't have to be nice to me, obviously. Some industry guys are not always that friendly, and you were always super cool. So, yeah, means a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Let's shift gears, man. What do you think? It's been a little bit since you've been in Pulp. Like, how do you feel about the season up to now in Supercross, man? Eli kind of running away with it. Let's go 450s, man. Like, I'm a little disappointed that some certain things happened with Jason because I feel like Jason. Possibly might even be able to be in a points lead, but at least it should be the points battle should be much, much closer.
Yeah, I agree. I last time I was on Steve's show, I feel like I was a little harsh on Jason because my point of view on it's very simple and he just can't get out of his own way.
True.
He makes very questionable decisions and he gets away with them from time to time, which is what leads to him winning races and doing well. The problem is he doesn't have a real, barometer on where that line is and when he needs to push it and when he doesn't, it seems. And so he ends up making, more than a couple mistakes that cost him. And next thing you know, Eli's got a multiple race points lead and it's kind of a snoozer from that side of things. But
yeah.
Jason, no doubt, has the speed. Sexton, no doubt, has the speed. Can't, keep it together like Eli can for a championship or the guys that we sort of took for granted, the Dungies and the Villapotos and those guys that just week in and week out ended up seconds and thirds every week. You got guys that are blazing fast like Chase or Jason that the inconsistencies are what's killing them.
Yeah. Do you feel like what we've seen in Supercross will just kind of roll right into outdoors? That Eli will stay consistent. Jason's going to keep Jason and Chase specifically keep making mistakes. You kind of feel like it'll probably just stay the same.
I think so, but I think we feel that way leaving Supercross every year,
right?
And then it sort of takes a left at some point, and something's different. So there's nothing that I can see that makes me think somebody else is going to step up and be dominant and beat Eli. I think it's going to be the same guys. And I have to lean towards the side of Eli keeping this together, because historically Eli's a very strong outdoor rider. So he's stringing together this good of a Supercross season. Why won't he continue it outdoors? Yeah,
it's hard to argue that. Like I didn't think Eli would be this good at all, and I was really surprised. But what about the? Well, go ahead.
I did not either. I'm just going to go on record.
Yeah.
I didn't think. I thought he would be fine. I thought he would be similar to what he was the last year or so.
I just figured he'd have to adjust, right? New team, new bike. It'd take a little bit. But I was also the guy that said Dylan Ferrandis was going to win the championship, so I clearly know nothing.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Somebody hit me up the other day, like when he announced that he wasn't going to come back for Supercross. I was like, well, that's why he's not going to win. Like he would have, if Star hadn't pulled him, he was going to win out. That's what I was standing by it. But
Bobby, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he was like stamping Ferrandis as the championship, like, and then like 6-7 rounds in, he was like, "Oh, I was just doing that to like test you guys."
Well, obviously I was joking. Then I know. I was very confident.
I still like to bring it up.
I was very confident that Dylan was going to roll Supercross or outdoors right into Supercross, and I was completely wrong. So that kind of proves what you just said a minute ago, Charles. What about Hurlings and Cairoli, man? Because I'm hearing pretty like high 90% they're coming.
Yeah, I've previous places I worked, I know there are race incentives for one of those two guys to do well at races here in the U.S. So if that tells you anything about their planning when that contract revolved around racing some in the U.S. And I have no idea how many is on the plan for Antonio to do, or and I've heard the same rumors about Hurlings, and I cross my fingers and hope everything we can have that perfect storm of Hurlings in his prime, and Eli seeming to be, he's past his prime, but seeming to be on top form as good as ever. And then Antonio Cairoli before he's completely out the door. I mean, man, if we can get those guys, pepper in Chase Sexton's crazy speed, maybe across our fingers a healthy Kenny Roxon, Jason Anderson riding is arguably as good as he's ever ridden.
Stacked field.
Yeah. Defending champ Ferrandis coming back healthy, I hope. I mean, we're in for a good summer if that's the case.
Yeah, I got to find more budget to make some more races, Scotty, because our outdoor budget's small. That's going to have to change. But go ahead, Scotty.
So this is a little bit of a change of pace, but Charles, I know you used to work with Tucker Rocky and like Answer and MSR and stuff like that. Did you have a working relationship with Brad Smith at all?
I did. I did, and I heard he passed away recently.
He did, and he's a local legend around here. My kid. I'm in between his oldest and youngest son, so I was on his t-ball team and grew up. He was kind of a legend around here and everything. I just kind of wanted to know if you had any good any good Brad Smith stories, just in remembrance of him.
He was wild. He was wild.
He's his own thing, man.
Yes, he is.
He was awesome. I worked super close with him. 4 or 5 years I was running the Pro Taper brand, and for people that don't know, Brad Smith was anything cool coming out from Pro Taper. Brad Smith was the guy behind the scenes that sort of made it happen.
Designed it,
I would see some stuff in his office that he would like. I saw like when they first came out with the brake levers that would bend out and up and down, and he had like foot pegs that would like rotate. He had the coolest stuff in his office,
Stella,
man.
I think it's the Stella, the whole shot device Pro Taper has. I think.
Yeah, he did that. That was the last thing he did. Yep.
Yeah, all those things. If I had an idea, or after me, Parabinos had an idea, or Valade had an idea, like Brad was the one that executed it, figured out how to make it work, how to make it happen, would do the CAD work and the engineering and make the samples. And then I would test it on my bike or Paul on his bike or whatever. Brilliant guy, super smart. A lot of times thinking so far outside the box that you'd have to sort of reel him in with like, man, that is really cool and crazy, but Jesus, we can't have a $9,000 pair of foot pegs here or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But he was so smart and thinking so big and outside the box that, he was awesome to work with. And off the top of my head, I don't have many stories. I remember one year at the indie trade show that the young kids in the industry won't know what that is, but industry saw go to Indianapolis for a week back in the day, and we were at like a piano bar or something, and you could pay money to get like dedicate a song or whatever, and they would put like write your name up on this big whiteboard, and he told them like from Pro Taper, and they spelled it out with 2 P's, so it said like Pro Tapper instead of Pro Taper. And he was like deeply offended, was like really bummed out, like what no, they did it wrong, like super upset. And I'm like, Brad, it isn't a big deal, who cares? Like nobody in this place knows what it is except us. But yeah, he's had so much passion for the brand. Like he was like really hurt that they misunderstood him or misspelled it or didn't know what it was, I guess.
Right.
Probably.
That's funny.
Because in his mind, like Pro Taper's the greatest thing in the world. Like, how does everybody not know about it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's funny.
That
That's
sounds
great.
like Brad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like Brad.
Yeah.
Charles,
Good
man.
dude. Good dude.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Just wanted to get a little insight to what you had going on, and really hope that we'll get to see each other at some events in Texas more now.
Yeah, certainly. Even outside of where Stacyc takes me in terms of events, sure you'll see me at the track with, I still ride as much as I can. My wife still rides and races. My 6-year-old rides a little bit. My 3-year-old rode sort of her first time on the track on the PW this weekend. So
Cool.
Well, we'll see you in Texas at the tracks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Are you coming to the free race this weekend?
He's still in Cali.
Oh, you aren't not here yet? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in California I'm going back and forth through the month of May till my son finishes kindergarten. Then I'll be there by early June. So
yeah, Swan's doing a free race this weekend. Free sign up, free entry.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool. Trey, he does try to give back, man.
And then if you say you're moving into the Fort Worth area and Oak Hill, they have like a whole they built a Stacyc track. Like it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, Stacyc headquarters is essentially Alito, so that West Fort Worth area, and I know Oak Hill is the common stomping grounds for most of the people that work at Stacyc that ride. So.
Right. Well, I'm hoping to get back to riding pretty soon once I get that 2-stroke.
Your factory edition 2-stroke.
Yeah, factory edition.
It cost you 12 years of hair, or whatever it was.
Well, it'll grow back, man. It's coming. It's already. I've had to cut it. See, Minneapolis was like what 5 weeks ago, 6, no, more than that, but not that long ago, and I've had to have 3 haircuts already.
Holy shit! They didn't tell you about this investment you were making.
Yeah. Steve keeps like, hey, you owe me money for this and that or whatever, and I'm like, dude, like I keep having to get my hair cut, and I'm having to use product now to keep it looking nice. Yeah, it's costing me a fortune.
All right.
Yeah, the wrap-up show's gonna have to start paying more.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Charles, man, again, thanks for coming on, man. It's really great to talk to you. It's been a little bit, so really happy for you. Glad that your family's coming back to Texas. That'll be good for the kids, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right, thanks to Charles Castloo for coming on. Just for everybody, it's Castloo, not Castloo. A lot of people say that. Charles Castloo.
Okay, I'll make sure.
I said it too when I used to.
Yeah.
When I first met him.
Isn't there somebody else in the industry that is Castloo?
There's Castillo, Dave Castillo.
No, there was a Castloo of some sort.
I think everybody just says his name.
Okay, maybe that might be it.
Yep. Nope, it's Castloo. So yeah, that's great. Appreciate him coming on. Want to thank Enzo Lopes, Benny Bloss, Charles Castloo. Do we have anything else we need?
We
to touch
never
on?
did our what is that? What does that say? The grill your ass off beef, whatever.
Oh, that's the our jerky beef.
Oh,
of the week.
I'm sorry,
you
our
had
jerky beef of the week.
Our jerky. Hang tight. The Wageman's family motocross roots run deep. Our Jerky is a private label jerky established to support the brothers' racing dreams. Visit EATR, as in the letter, eatrjerky.com to see all the flavors available, like the popular 7 Deuce Deuce black pepper beef brisket. My favorite, the Sizzling Hot, which that's actually changed. I like the sweet and spicy, I think is what it's called now. But the Sizzling Hot's kicking ass. and the teriyaki and many more. Use promo code MotoXPod21 to save at eatourjerky.com. The brothers told me that you guys are using that code, so I appreciate it. But order some jerky, get it in here for the races, and enjoy that stuff. But you, Scotty, have an Our Jerky beef of the week. Have at it.
Okay. I'm not gonna get like too crazy with this. I've kind of already made this point earlier when I don't know if that was gonna be on this actual show or if it was on the YouTube thing, but the reintroduction, and I know it's because it was on actual NBC and they tried to make that real family friendly, but I'll just say I was not happy to see Rutledge Wood there. And I know he's probably a great guy and everything, but dude, the way his lack of knowledge for the sport and the way that he tries to put himself
he's part of it.
Like he's part. Well, no, like he tries to sound relevant and he's so far off. And it just like as a diehard fan, as most of these people that are on our show are.
Yeah.
Like it was. I don't know. It just makes me cringe when I see him.
I get you. So again, we know that like I'm probably too nice most of the time, except with my buddies. So when I
about to say, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna blast this guy like the last time he was on. That he was on Pulp and he got into it with David Villeman. Like he's just doing his job, right? He does have a passion for motorsports. He's big in the NASCAR. Maybe he doesn't know all the details about Supercross. He's doing his job. Like it's not his fault that race.
Yeah, and like I said, he's probably a great guy.
Yeah, he seems cool. Like I kind of messaged with him after he did Pulp because I gained a little bit of respect because he did at least stand up for himself.
Yeah.
Even though some of the stuff he said didn't necessarily make sense to us as fans, but it's on NBC, man. As we already said, like they're taking their guys.
I'm not mad at him, the person.
Right.
I'm mad at the direction NBC goes, and it drives me freaking nuts.
I totally
man.
disagree. The beef of the week being with NBC, I'm cool with that because it's the same with Lee Diffie and Todd Harris. They're under contract. So my understanding is when Superfeld comes and they try to make this contract with NBC, it's like for this certain dollar amount, and then NBC says, well, instead of this dollar amount or whatever, right? But we're going to give you Todd Harris, and that's like a value to us, and you have to use him 3 races of the season. Or you're going to get Lee Diffie, you have to use him at 2 races in the season. These are because these guys are under contract, right? So let's say Lee Diffie, let's say they pay him $300,000 a year. Okay, that's his contract, right? But they have to get him into a certain number of events to make that worthwhile, like to make that value there for them. So when they get these contracts with like Supercross or wherever, like, all right, we got to use them here. We got to use them here because that's part of the contract to make it. I mean, if they didn't use them at all, right, it wouldn't be worthwhile.
Right.
So that's how they kind of do that, and that's part of the contract with NBC. And then they have Rutledge Wood. Those guys are all under contract.
Right.
So they have to use them, and Feld has to agree with that when that contract comes up. I don't think Feld's happy with that personally. I don't have any insider knowledge in this. If Feld gives a shit about the sport, they can't be happy with that.
Yeah.
Because I know that Feld loves Daniel in the booth. I know they do.
Yeah.
It's not their choice to not have him in the booth.
I know.
NBC doesn't give a shit about Daniel Blair. NBC doesn't give a shit about Supercross as a whole. It's a commodity to them. They don't care about the passion of the sport. So that's why a guy like they don't give a shit that you don't like Rutledge Wood.
No, I know.
He's already paid for. They're going to use him.
Yeah, I know. It's just like,
and he's just doing his job, man. Like,
no, yeah, it's not him. It was just
if I was under contract with him and they said, "Hey, Jamie, you're going to we need you to go cover this dog race." I don't know shit about dog racing. They're going to do the best I can.
You're going to look. It's not fair. It's not fair that they do that to him because it's outside of his true area of expertise.
If they pay, I bet what he gets paid, I'd be fine.
Well,
with
okay, let's say this. Would you? Let's say, all right, they're going to pay me to go do this dog race. Yep. I don't know shit about dog races. I don't even really like dogs, but I'm going to go cover this dog race. You know that okay, I'm going to go do the best I can. This is what they pay me to do. But are you surprised?
Myself covering a dog race.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
What the hell's that ugly little dog doing? Why would anybody own a dog like that?
So, but would you be surprised if the dog fanatic fans of racing dogs were disappointed or did not like you for the poor commentary that you did because you had no idea what the hell you were talking about?
I totally understand.
Yeah, so I'm sure he goes through the same thing, and I'm sure they kind of battled it out on pulp or whatever. But it's just the direct when we talked about this earlier, we need to separate. We need to have the new fan, try to get them on Sunday afternoon when those people are watching stuff like that anyways. Put an hour program. Those guys aren't watching 3 hours of this stuff. Put an hour.
Some people might.
Maybe.
It's rare, but like Joseph Allen, right, the announcer guy?
Yeah.
That's how he discovered Supercross in the beginning as a kid. Flipping through the channels and saw it, I was like, oh, I like this, and he became obsessed.
Yeah. Well,
So
there's
it does
more of a
happen.
chance
It's
of that
rare.
happening Sunday night than Sunday
maybe.
afternoon
Probably
than Saturday night.
And I will say it's very rare.
Shorter program.
Yeah.
Make it to those people that are uneducated about the sport, and then give us a real one. Give us a real in-depth. That's the direction the sport needs to go. And I hope something like that can happen.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need to do it ourselves, dude.
We get anybody? Sorry, guys.
Oh,
I'm really sorry. I am. Man, Tuesday nights are tough.
TJ said Rutledge is awesome.
Well, you know what? I truly
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Stop acting like an idiot. You're the idiot. Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
like. I don't doubt that he's serious. Like that's like Rutledge would and TJ would probably hang out.
TJ said, "Who do you think that they are talking about?" And everybody was like, I don't know. That's funny.
Did we get a winner from YouTube for the?
Nobody did. Nobody got it right. No. Only one person answered, and then that was wrong.
I'm so frustrated with YouTube right now.
I mean, what can you really? I mean, they're here. We can't
Thank
really.
you for the people that are watching. I'm not upset with you. I just don't.
And what Jake was talking about earlier was that you can't find it in the payroll to hook me up at a cost with goggles.
Yeah, our goggle sponsorship is money.
Yeah.
The goggles don't come free. I pay for those goggles.
I knew it was probably something like that.
Those goggles are actually
speaking for the people here.
Like that's my side thing. Like all X-Brand does for us. I could probably hit up Rich and ask for a pair for you, but I haven't done that. But
that's cool. I don't want to be that guy. Like, hey man, can I get some?
Yeah. Our X-Brand deal is actually money. He sends money so we can go to races. I didn't put in there like and 3 pair of goggles for the year or whatever. Like he probably would do that. I just haven't done it.
It's all good. I'm not trying to be that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm tired, guys, as I always am on Tuesdays. There's struggle. I'm doing the best I can, man. Tuesdays are tough. Late night last night, up at 5 o'clock, and you guys already know. You listen. And I'm not mad at the YouTube listeners, as I think I was starting to say, or watchers.
Yeah, someone said earlier,
I want this thing to be like, I want this show. I don't expect it to be on par with Pulp, but like I feel like at this point the show's pretty decent. It's a pretty good show. We got good guests. We have good content. I feel like we should have 1,000 people following our YouTube, subscribing to our YouTube channel. Maybe they're not all live, but we have like 150 or something, and I freaking don't understand what to do. And part of that's on us, probably learning the algorithms. But I need our listeners need to be like sharing that crap. If you guys got Twitters, if you have a Twitter account or a Facebook, take the link to the show. And post it.
You were showing me the other day the downloads have gone up.
That screenshot, the one I showed you guys the other day, is that what you're talking about?
So yeah,
that's because I posted. That was what do they call it? That was padding the numbers. I did 2 podcasts that week. So yeah, it looked like we had 3 times as many listeners, but because I did the Ricky Rackman one and the Kyle Jewett one, and I think we might have even done a show, or no, we didn't do a show that week, but that's why it looked like that. It looks good for sponsors, but the numbers are still about the same as they have been. And I would love for our listeners to take the link from the show, from however they watch or listen, and share it. Like, get that out there. Say, hey guys, my buddies, check out this show, dude. They just had Hunter Lawrence on. They just had Enzo Lopes on. It's cool. It's something different, and we need help from our listeners. And I'm not mad at our listeners by any means. I'm frustrated that it isn't where I feel like it should be. So anyway, as far as that goes, again, Patreon.com. That's a big help, guys. If you go to Patreon.com, search the Moto X Pod Show, and if you feel the need or the want to support the show, a couple bucks, $5 a month, that adds up a lot. Every month, we take that money, we put it in an account, and it goes to our travel expenses and doing this so we can go to these races. Like I just mentioned, I would love to do some nationals. It's gonna be tight right now, so I don't know that we're gonna do that many nationals. But if we get some more patron supporters that can really help us out, we go get content so we can do more shows. I understand that I also need to do more stuff for our Patreon supporters.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You know, I've mentioned a couple of times that I would like to do like something on my own, and
it's hard to find time.
It is. Well, and I just need. Well, I would have to get like who's going to be the sponsor of it. Like,
Yeah.
I'd have to work that out, and I just haven't done that yet. But
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe that's something that I could add to the Patreon thing, where that's a bonus thing that only Patreons get.
Yeah.
It's like something just added content that you get if you're a Patreon.
I posted a couple of the articles I wrote.
I don't know if
for
anybody
Racer
paid
X.
to hear me talk,
Right.
but
Well, the articles that I wrote for Racer X are all recorded on audio. That's how I get my content, and I transcribe. So I've taken a few of those, and then I've posted the actual audio on our Patreon because there's stuff there that I don't use. So there's a lot of stuff. Like the 10-minute interview that you read was probably an hour interview audio-wise. And I just did one with Josh Jelly Ellingson, which is Eli's mechanic, was Justin Cooper's mechanic. I'm about to write that up this weekend. I'm going to post that stuff on our Patreon. Unfortunately, there's some stuff I got to go through and cut out that, like, hey, don't post this. And I just haven't taken the time. So I probably have 3 or 4 interviews that I can post to Patreon. But I'll do more, man. I promise. But, yeah, I don't know. Got anything else, Scotty?
So a couple people didn't, I guess, that were in here now didn't realize what the question was. So I guess I can give them one last chance. Or we don't have enough time for them to answer? Or?
Give them the trivia, and then send the responses if you're on YouTube. So this here's the deal. If we don't get, I got to get the answers by tomorrow midday, okay? Because like I don't want somebody to go back and listen to this and then send me an email. If I get an email by midday tomorrow, noon tomorrow, then just email us motoxpodshow@gmail.com because we have no answers right now. Correct? Or
We
no
had
correct
one,
answers?
but it was wrong.
Okay. So ask the trivia question again.
The question
for
was
the Grill Your Ass Off sample pack.
Yes.
And email me by noon tomorrow at motoxpodshow@gmail.com. And then, yeah, you guys can.
So this can be to the people that listen to this on Spotify too. So they get listen to more. Okay. So the question was, in honor of the Speedway race that we had this weekend, what was the year of the last Charlotte race and who got 5th place in that race? The last Charlotte Speedway race, not including the GP that they did a couple years ago. I'm not counting that. I'm counting AMA race. So that's the question. Noon tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, and you need to write down the answer for me because I know you told me earlier.
Yep.
That way I have the answer.
Yep.
Or text it to me.
I got you.
Okay, guys. Thanks to Cherubies USA, Race Tech, Fly Racing, X-Brand Goggles, Works Connection, Torque One Racing, did I just say Racing? Torque One Racing.
We're going waiting.
Our Jerky.
We're going really fast.
Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID, Shock Socks, Williams Moto Works, Extreme Colors, Blood Lubricants, Power Band Racing, True Fusion Sports, and of course our new sponsor, Grill Your Ass Off. Use that promo code MotoXPod. If you guys like cooking, there's some killer stuff on there. They have some sauces. Keep in mind, it is a small Texas-based company. A lot of stuff might be out of stock right now, and he is working on rebuilding the stock and it'll be back up. So I think you can even sign up to be notified when stuff comes back in stock. Killer stuff. I appreciate Jason at Grill Your Ass Off paying for my flights to go to California to ride the YZ250. He didn't have to do that.
Nice.
Very, very cool that he did that. He was actually willing to pay for a better flight, and then Randy from Michelin was going to upgrade me to first class.
Jesus.
That all came through the wrap-up show. Jason with Grill Your Ass Off did the wrap-up show, and he threw that out there on the wrap-up. He's like, hey, man, I want to pay for your flights, and I challenge Randy to upgrade you to first class. And I never reached out to Randy about it. I was like, I'm not doing that, dude. I'll just do Southwest. It's cheap. No big deal. So when Randy was on last week for the wrap-up for 500, he's like, I accept that challenge. I heard it, and I will upgrade you to first class. I was like, dude, I just went Southwest. There is no first class. He goes, well, yeah, the only way to upgrade you from Southwest would be to get you into another airline.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm good, dude. So anyway, thank you to Jason at Grill Your Ass Off. Go hit those guys up. Get some cool stuff. Great flavors, man. I love the Cajun, the Claymore Cajun. I made some new potatoes. Like I cut them up, diced new potatoes, baked them in olive oil and Cajun seasoning. Oh my God. So good.
I'm about to go to steak
Made
night.
some burgers. I made some burgers the other day with the Madouce.
Yeah.
Kicks
Kicks my ass.
Kicks my ass. All right, we're out. That's episode
All
230.
right. Later,
See ya.
guys.